started to see which one can be the most retarded. Tinfoil haters, it's time to start the show. Tinfoil haters, it's time to start the show. Tinfoil haters, don't tell them what to say. Tinfoil haters are here to save the day. And Sammy are about to get started to see which one can be the most retarded. Tinfoil haters, it's time to start the show. Tinfoil haters, it's time to start the show.
Welcome back to Tinfoil Haters. How are all you vital idols doing? We have been... Oh, this episode's been a long time coming, boys. This episode's been a long time coming. We've been talking about Skinwalker Ranch pretty much since the beginning of starting this show, and now we are 33 episodes deep, and we couldn't do it without a special guest today. Before we get to this beautiful woman right here, let's introduce the co-host. Shout out the pre-stream legends, the whole nine. Sammy, my partner in crime. Tell the people who you are, what you do, and how you've been doing.
I'm Sammy Threepeat, Detroit-based musician, but also YouTuber. You can find all my information on the Tweeter. And I got this comfy new shirt that came in the mail today.
Yeah, what kind of shirt is that, Sammy?
Oh, I believe this is a Tinfoil Haters Mothman edition. You can see it is lovely. And by the way, it is comfy. It is. I was worried it wasn't going to be as comfy as the Hondo shirt. It is just as comfy. I ordered it in a size larger than I usually get, so it's going to be a comfort like sleeping shirt or something that I wear like in layers. But
I need to get one.
You absolutely need to get one. That's right. We all need to get one. That's right, guys. The official Tinfoil Haters merch, this shirt as well as the Greatest Hits shirt, both available on my shop on my YouTube channel. I'm so glad you got that, Sammy. It looks mighty fine. Cindy, tell the people who you are and what you do.
Well, hey there, guys. I'm Cindy. I like to cover anime and gaming stuff, be it news or trailers, and I stream every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. I love hanging out with y'all. Thank you for having me on here. Hee
You'll love to see it. Should be pressing buttons behind the scenes once we get through our intros, and then of course the guests that like asked to be on this episode because we want. I love streaming with Kitty. Kitty and I have streamed together multiple times, and there's a lot of folks like, yo, when you do XYZ episode, I was not, expecting for Kitty to be like, yo, when are you doing Skinwalker Ranch? She's like, this has got to happen. Tell people who you are and what you do, Kitty.
I'm a weird kind of variety YouTuber. I mostly diagram debates. I like making mind maps about things. So if it's mind mappable, which is everything, I do it. So yeah, that's what I do. And then I stream around the internet with these wonderful people as well.
You'll love to see it. Well, guys, before we get into the roundtable discussion, let's see who's in the chat. First things first, we got the pre-stream legends. We got a boy, Jake Martin, coming in with a $20 super sticker. Shout out to Controller going, woo! So, yes, thank you so much, Jake. Truly appreciate it. Of course, you know what's coming.
Chip, you know what? You just made the list. Oh, no. Oh, here we go.
Fuck yeah.
And then, thank you so much. We also got Christopher Baker coming in hot with a 10 banger. I was too late for KFC delivery, so white castules it is. I didn't even know KFC delivered, but unless you mean like
white
DoorDash something. I do.
He just said it like
white. Oh, okay, I got you.
Yeah, White Castle was White Castle.
White Castle.
Oh,
I took it from
wow.
Yes, you have White Castle,
for
and then you have diarrhea.
So, all right. Well, thank you to both of you. We will get this Halloween edition of Tinfoil Haters start off properly with a clip. This is for both of you, and then we'll get into the show. Very appropriate
Oh,
clip for
that's
this episode because
depressing.
it starts off in the midnight.
Everybody
Was
whose
I
music
kidding?
gets depressed.
Did that impress you? Did that hurt you?
Yeah, I was like, I can't go back.
I
No.
know.
I
Yep,
know.
just a little
So
painful. Oh, and then look at is that's
sorry.
a wild Mike Hollow
Mike
in the chat.
Hollow.
Big up my people. Shout out. Mike is a legend around these parts. If you're not subbed to Mike, make sure you are. Shout out Mike, my man with the plan. Thank you so much for pulling up. Let's get you a clip as well. You know what? Let's see. What do we got? I think this would be a good one for you, Mike.
I'm loving the game. The game would absolutely get a pretty high score from me.
How many bananas?
A solid 8.5 incher for sure.
That's I didn't what? No.
And wouldn't it be nice to live together?
There it is.
No,
All right, let's
no.
say hey to some chats up in here. EB was the first throwing up that hashtag tinfoil shalaters. Sit back and shalate the show. Assuming I'm saying that right. We got Dax, our best model in the whole damn land. Philip Morgan in the house. That darn kidday is here. Valiant Goat says early Badger race. Shout out to the Angry Badger and Badger's Bastards coming in hot. You love to see it. Truly appreciate it. Todd in the house. Thrawn Kill is in the house. Bobby Blankenship. We weren't late. We were exactly on time. Again, who else we got? We got Daxnar again. Alfredo Chorizo. Little Miss Anonymous saying me, yowdy, y'all. And yes, she's ready. This is one she's been waiting for a hot minute, too. Mad Hatter is here. What is up, Mad Hatter? Gravestone in the house. You'll love to see it. Divina Duckworth. St. Hugo, the IRL Wesker. Cindy, of course, will be talking to you guys in chat because, she runs this bitch behind the scenes. What would I do without her? Crash and burn, most likely. It's gotten so much easier since she's been a part of this. Again, Jake is in the house. Shout out to our boy Jake. You love to see it. I know there's more of you in here. I just gotta keep scrolling. We of course got the Stream Elements bot. Thank you, Stream Elements. It means the world to me to be
Hi,
here.
Stream
Our
Elements.
boy Zax is here. Shout out, how you doing?
Zax.
Welcome back to the Western
Zaxy.
Hemisphere. I had to check what hemisphere we were in. Welcome back to the Western Hemisphere. Salty butter bags. Why do I suddenly want two baked potatoes? So you can boil them, mash them, and stick them in a stew. Our boy Hypno, shout out, how you doing, Hypnotic? You love to see it. Again, Christopher Baker, thank you so much. Echo, is there an echo?
I was wondering if it was me because, but I don't. Nobody's.
Yeah, I'm not hearing an echo on my end. I don't know about anybody else. Let me make sure. No echo on my end. We're good. No one's saying it right now, I can say. So either way, we got Tiger King Rex Carter in the house. Shout out. Who else we got? I think that might be everybody. Let's just keep scrolling through. Oh no, we got Soul Assassin. Find a way to send Leon Sammy a Point Pleasant and eat Mothman pizza. Oh, that'd be great. That'd be awesome. Of course,
Dude.
Sammy will be
Bring
talking to
the
you guys in chat
t-shirts.
as well. And I think that is that everybody? We may be all caught up. And of course, again, shout out. Thank you so much, Mike. Truly appreciated. All righty, guys. Let's get in. Oh, no, we have the Peter Bateman fan site. How you doing, girly?
girl.
Going up. Same with Creamage. Sleeping Nova is in the house. Shout out to Sleeping Nova and Creamage. Man, Creamage is just going hard with the tunes lately. You love to see it. And that is everybody. Guys, before we get into the show proper, and Kitty, we'll save you for last because you are our guest of honor. How did you guys learn about the Skinwalker Ranch? What do you think about the Skinwalker Ranch, the whole nine?
I just first learned about it from like word of mouth, like talking to other people who like enjoy kind of like, the same like fringe crap that I do. And but like I was telling you guys backstage, I was unaware with the huge aspect of it. I just we'll get into that when we do, but I've probably known about this for at least 10 years or so.
Cindy, what about you? Do you have any knowledge on Skinwalker Ranch?
I do not. I'm going in blind. I like it. But I have heard of it. So even though I don't know much about it, I'm excited to learn. It's a kitty butt.
And last but not least, Kitty. First of all, I asked you this behind the scenes, but then we had to start going live. What made you want to come on Skinwalker Ranch? I didn't even know Skinwalker Ranch was well known outside of the U.S. And, you being from South Africa and living in the United Arab Emirates. So, like, this is clearly a wide range story. So, what do you know about Skinwalker Ranch? Why this episode? And also, just how deep into the woo-woo are you in general?
I'm pretty deep into it. In that I'm interested in it. I used to watch Investigation Discovery all the time and History Channel and all of those things. They mention those sort of things. Yeah, I think that's the first time I heard about it when I was watching TV. When there used to be I used to watch satellite TV. That was it. Like those unsolved mysteries kind of things. But then like in common day now, I've just listened to a lot of podcasts about it, and it's freakish. The reason because I think I just listened to another podcast about it, and then I was on stream with you, and I was like, oh, I'm sure this is something you guys have done on tinfoil headers. And then I was like, are you guys going to? Then you said, no, we actually haven't done it yet. We're going to. So I was like, please, can I get?
We wanted to save it because, like, tinfoil haters, we do an amalgamation of things, whether it be the spooky stuff or government conspiracies. It's like, no, all Halloween month long, all spooky season, we're doing some of the weird, and Skinwalker Ranch is definitely part of the weird. So for those of you that don't know, let's give you all a quick rundown on what the Skinwalker Ranch is. And before we do that, shout out to Zach's member for 10 months. Apparently he's AJ. I'll sell you 2/5 of him.
God damn it.
The werewolf episode.
I think I need to rescue a cat. Just hold on for a second.
No worries. Rescue a cat, and we'll give people the rundown. No, shout out, Zach. Thank you so much, brother. Strange happenings in Utah. The phenomenon of Skinwalker Ranch. There's a place in Utah near the New Mexico border where legends have shifted today's stories of paranormal phenomena. Skinwalker Ranch, a plot of 512 acres on the southern edge of Navajo Nation, has had reports of strange happenings since the 1600s. Cow mutilations, unidentified orbs of light disappearing into rock formations or lakes, the appearance of large wolf-like creatures, just to name a few. So what is happening at Skinwalker Ranch? Well, the Ute Native American tribe arrived in Utah in the 1300s, while the Navajo tribe arrived in the early 1600s. They didn't often get along, and one legend says that after a particularly violent altercation in which the Ute helped oust the Navajo from the property, the Navajo cursed the Ute, unleashing skinwalkers within the territory, which was located about 20 miles from the ranch. Now, any questions before we continue, or any thoughts before we continue?
It seems like like we've talked about with like hospitals or like war sites. It seems like a place where there's plenty of spiritual activity to thrive.
Yeah, a lot of bloodshed. So it's called, I find this to be an interesting point, and we'll go ahead and just touch on this now. It's called Skinwalker Ranch. Now, skinwalkers are not present in Ute, in Ute folklore. That's specifically, or Utah, depending. I've heard people say it's pronounced Utah, but I'm going to say Ute because that's how it's spelled. They're not prevalent, or not prevalent as they don't even exist in Ute folklore. They're exclusively based on Navajo religion, and Navajo country was about 400 miles I believe, south of this location. So the idea that there's a lot of skinwalkers here is because the Navajo, which were a pretty violent, war heavy tribe, were always trying to push north for territory, and they were pushing north into the Ute territory, which is why, even though this isn't on Navajo land, you have all these Navajo, like cryptid sightings and things to that effect, is because this was an attempt at conquest. So. Yeah, I just feel like that's important to point out, since this does not actually fall. Skinwalker Ranch is not on Navajo land, but it's a Navajo legend. So according to Navajo legend, skinwalkers, Yi Naladalushi, is the Navajo language, meaning with it he goes on all fours, are malevolent witches with supernatural powers, allowing them to shapeshift from human to an animal at will. They often become coyotes, wolves, foxes, or bears, then they transition into any animals. Skinwalkers are witches who have been initiated by compelling a truly terrible act, such as killing someone who usually a family member. Following the murder, the witch gets their supernatural powers. In addition to taking on the shape of animals, skinwalkers are thought to wear predatory animal skins and skulls to get even more powerful. So before we go further, what does everybody on the panel feel about just belief in the idea of a skinwalker?
I believe the Navajos are probably drunk.
Okay, so this Skinny. I think that means skinny. Goddamn, Skinny. I believe that means you don't believe in skinwalkers in general.
No, I think it's possible. I don't like the Navajos.
What about you, Kitty?
It's possible. I mean, like literally, I believe in God. How can I be like, no, that's too far. That's too far fetched. So yeah, there are demons out there, so why not? Yeah, I remember something about this being on the path of the skinwalker. So like there's a certain range that they're supposed to be on, and this ranch is on the path of the Skinwalker, and that's why we got it. But yeah, shape shifting, it's I think there's a lot of it in folklore all over the world. I
Absolutely.
think it's something that freaks humans out. The idea that somebody can basically take your face as well, take on your form, that's in a lot of
Mhm.
cultures. So
Doppelgangers, changelings.
yeah. So I can understand a culture developing that.
And Sammy, what about you? What are your thoughts on skinwalkers?
Yeah, like I said, lycanthropy has been around in pretty much any culture that you can find. Anyone with history, things like this. Also, the idea of like a blood sin. Killing a member of your family in order to enact this, or sort of even though this is not like the Navajo thing, but there's a lot of things that like infanticide was often attributed to like witchcraft and like sealing a pact with the devil and things like that. I believe in there's universal acts, like like I believe that like murdering someone's always going to be wrong, stealing from someone's always going to be wrong. How these different tribes and different cultures came to this conclusion, I mean, it's those ones are pretty standard, but I was like, it's very interesting to see that you'll find similar curses for like these similar acts, or like even going back to the Bible, like you can see my giant ass dog in the back. That's not a skinwalker. But
as long as you don't shock it like Hassan.
no, never.
That's why you put skinwalkers in line.
No, but
Put that in
I'm
his
saying,
frame.
so it is interesting to me that you are seeing these kind of similar things like handed down. It's like we talked about where that image of the spaceman comes up in all these different parts of the globe. You now have this thing where like killing a member of your family or killing a baby or all this, it was like kind of leads to this particular curse. Well, there has to be a reason for it. He's just going to be walking around the back room the whole time. Mrs. Three
That's
Feet
okay.
is not coming home.
He's a good prop. So go for it, Kitty. Go on.
No, the dog's protecting us from the skinwalkers. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's funny you mentioned that because I actually do have some stories, some firsthand accounts about that may involve a dog protecting people from skinwalkers. Because I did pull up. So here's the thing about Skinwalker Ranch. Before I give my thoughts on skinwalkers in general, Skinwalker Ranch is not exclusive to skinwalkers. What makes this such an interesting story is that it sort of has everything: ghosts, UFOs, skinwalkers. I mean, this area seems to be just a hotbed for paranormal activity, UFO activity, the whole nine. And yeah, it's called Skinwalker Ranch due to one of the sightings, but there's all sorts of craziness that's potentially happening here. Now, as for skinwalkers themselves, I try and, obviously, as you guys know, I consider myself a bit of a healthy skeptic, and I try and rationalize how can this exist with science. And I find myself falling back on the tired but true idea that what I believe personally is that there was once an abundance of magic in this world. I think that, as humans have developed beyond, taking the technological route, we've seen, like, for example, the shriveling of our pineal gland, which is often, considered our third eye. So whether or not something like this is possible, I mean, it's hard to say. Maybe at one time it was, and we've just evolved to not rely on said magic or anything like that due to the fact that we've got, technology is practically our form of magic at this point. So do I think humans can be skinwalkers today? By and large, no. Maybe you've got some people that are still very deep in their practice. I mean, I talk about it all the time. I'm part Cherokee. I grew up on the Cherokee Nation in the latter part of my life. And so obviously there's a lot of, tales that hold true. I mean, my dad, who is who was Native American, every single equinox, he walks barefoot in fields, and he believes in, even though he's a psychiatrist, he is a man of science. He believes in spirits talking to like dead family members, coming back and giving you advice from the past. And so, I mean, I feel like if he's Native American, he's able to reconcile being a psychiatrist with also being a Native American. Then I don't see why I couldn't do the same. So yeah, that's my thoughts on skinwalkers and really just any of these magical creatures in general. There probably was a time when they were real or more prevalent. And it's become a dying breed because we've evolved, quote unquote, outside of needing that anymore. So it goes on to say, the Navajo use skinwalkers as a sort of scapegoat, blaming the creatures for everything from weather to death. Shape-shifting creatures aren't exclusive to the Navajo. Other groups have similar legends, including the Apache, the Hopi, and even Europeans like the Slavs and French. But what do skinwalkers have to do with the ranch, aside from the legend of the curse between the Navajo and the Ute? There have been various so-called skinwalker sightings on Skinwalker Ranch, and because of the sightings, previous owner, Terry Sherman, gave it the now infamous name. Skinwalkers are blamed for cattle mutilations and for frightening inhabitants and visitors of the ranch. These occurrences, as well as others such as mysterious lights, unidentifying flying objects, and unexplained illnesses over the last couple of centuries, led the current ranch owner, Brandon Fugel, to buy the property so that investigations could continue and perhaps answers could be found. And going further into now 2016, when Brandon Fugel acquired Skinwalker Ranch in 2016, the real estate mogul, which it doesn't list here, but the real estate mogul, his real estate company is named Adamantium Realty, which is like cool as hell. Adamantium Realty, like clearly he's a comic book fan. The real estate mogul was hopeful the answers would be uncovered about the strange happenings on the land. Fugel hired aerospace engineer Travis Taylor to lead a team of investigators through a series of experiments that would be documented by the History Channel, and Taylor's resume includes work for the U.S. Department of Defense and NASA. Taylor also led the Pentagon's Unidentified Aerial Phenomenon UAP Task Force, which resulted in the release of a video featuring a UAP in 2021. Now, we're definitely going to get into the ties to the government because that's going to be interesting as well. And yes, okay, I think that is the last. Yep, that's the last we got highlighted from this segment. So before we go further with the timeline of events or anything to that effect, does anybody have any thoughts they want to add?
You know what? I was thinking, about this the entire day, and I can't remember which show it was, but we were talking about how we were talking about the existence of interdimensional aliens, and I just think this whole area is just like a nexus point of activity, where we're
simulation theory, because I was going to say nexus point when you were starting to stutter. I was going to correct you with nexus point, then you came in and said it. Simulation theory. We're on track. Sorry, continue. No,
that was the only thing that I really had in mind, and I really can't wait till we get to the government aspect, because that's the part that I'm really not comprehending here, because there's a lot going on.
Yeah, there is a lot going on. So we're going to get into the timeline of events, and I've got certain videos and documents and stuff to pull up that go coincide with the timeline. But first things first, Girthy Banana for a 5-banger says, the symbol AU stands for what on the periodic table? Is it A,
Gold.
Bananas, B, monkeys, or C, this ain't science class, also happy birthday, Cinny?
I don't know why he keeps telling me happy birthday, but it started yesterday, and he keeps saying it.
I was going to be like, we have the same birthday?
But yeah, no. First of all,
Sandy.
AU is gold, and the reason I
Yes.
know that AU is gold is because during my first marriage, I didn't know what au gratin potatoes were, and I was at the store, and my now ex-wife texts me. She goes, "Pick up au gratin potatoes," and so to me, it's AU. I was like, what are gold potatoes? Like, I texted that back to her. What are gold potatoes? She thought I was a fucking moron. So I feel like I've been surprised when I knew that AU was gold. But anyway, this is for you since you brought the monkey stuff, Girthy Banana.
That's stupid. You're stupid. Stop being stupid.
Alrighty, let's go through this timeline of events here, and then there are select stories that I pulled that coincide with this timeline. So this is from Skinwalker Ranch's official website, and now for the life of me, anytime you've got instances like this, you want to follow the money, right? You want to follow the money. I don't see Skinwalker Ranch isn't like really a tourist trap or anything so far as I can tell. Like, yeah, people can go there and whatnot, but they're not making money, at least from individuals that I can tell, to keep the ranch operational. So that does, in my opinion, lend some credence to it that, like, well, if it's not a money-making scheme and yet you've got these sci-fi shows around it and whatnot, maybe there's something to it. And I will hit that membership chat once we're through with some of the timeline. So it starts off with 1776. The Dominguez and Escalante expedition travels through Mighton and possibly across Skinwalker Ranch. Now, this is an interesting one because I immediately pulled this story out the gate because you will find over and over this story right here. The Franciscan missionary Silvestre Velez de Escalante wrote about strange fireballs appearing over his campfire in El Rey. And then you go to History Channel. They say the same thing. Franciscan missionary Silvestre Velez de Escalante wrote about strange fireballs appearing over his campfire in El Rey. And what this was a real expedition. So Remarkable Expedition was far from a failure. And what this was, July 29th of 1776. So my birthday, but a little shy 300 years before I was born, July 29th. No, this is an expedition where these Spanish missionaries had been told there were Spanish settlers out west where, to people's knowledge, there shouldn't have been as of yet. And so he led an expedition which would take him through the Skinwalker Ranch area to try and find proof that there were already Spanish settlers out there. While they didn't make it to the location that they were trying to get to, which would have been roughly Monterey, California, they were warned by Native American tribes not to go that far. And they did find bearded men. That's why they thought they were. That's why they thought they were going to be Spanish settlers, because Native Americans don't grow facial hair. They were not Spanish settlers. They were something else. I don't remember what. But so yes, this was a real expedition. And
wait, that's true?
What?
Native Americans don't grow facial hair?
Not very
A
well.
lot of
No,
them
that's why I've got all this
don't,
patchiness going on. Yeah, Native Americans don't grow facial hair very well at all.
Is that why it's
We're
called
not a hairy
Apache?
people.
Oh, come
damn it.
on.
Was that all a setup for that joke?
No, that just kind of came to me in the moment, but
Okay.
It was beautiful. That was beautiful.
Yes.
So right here says 240 years ago today, 2 Franciscan friars arrived from Santa Fe with 8 companions. They spent 5 months in wearing horseback, travel across Colorado, Utah, Arizona, and Mexico, covering roughly 1,700 miles. And he kept a journal this entire time. So homeboy here kept a journal, and that's what these tend to reference. He wrote about strange fireballs appearing in the sky, strange fireballs appearing in the sky. Well, so I decided to go through his journal. Because his journal, it was given back to his superiors after the expedition was finished. It was later published, and you can still buy copies of his journal today. So it's strange to me. So we see this referenced over and over that as far back as 1776, he was seeing what could be attributed to UFOs. But I went through his journal. I could find no references of fireballs in the sky, nothing. And it's about 168 pages. So I then thought, all right, well, since he's Spanish, let's go through it instead of English translation. Let's go through it in Spanish itself. Still nothing. Even in the native Spanish language, no mention of fireballs in the sky. So I don't know where this got started, but we can go through. You could still buy on Amazon to this day his journal. There are no mentions of what these articles are saying. So either this had to be some sort of translation error, lost to time, or this is something that's being propagated by like the History Channel and these other outlets, and the source is, I made it the fuck up. And it's been said so many times, it's sourced over and over.
also side
So
note, he
go for it.
He went through it in 2 different languages. That's the type of work that we give
Yes.
on Tinfoil Haters, okay?
It was kind of exhausting. Oh, like the research for this particular episode was kind of exhausting because there is so much and so little. But yeah, I just, in honor of being, we do try and bring you guys the facts. And while I want everything about Skinwalker Ranch to be true, and while I want this to be a very interesting instance, when you go to the timeline, it doesn't look good when the very first thing that's mentioned doesn't have any real source to back it up.
Yeah.
That being said, learning about that expedition,
It looks like they
was
retrofitted
incredibly
it,
cool.
essentially.
Say that again?
It's like they retrofitted it. They're like, oh, well, hey, there was an expedition around here. And so they just said, oh, there must have been, let's see if there's something there. And then they just made it up.
It feels tourist trappy. To say, and to capitalize on something like that, to add like a more mystical aspect, and then you did the due diligence and you're like, wow, that's not mentioned at all, that these events kind of like happened, which if they happened, and and these expeditions very well could have gone through that area, but you just went through that entire journal and you're like, there's no depiction of this happening.
Nothing.
So
yeah,
we can do that. So why would you make that?
Well, my thought process as to why they would make something like this up is we can do this now, but Skinwalker Ranch was only owned by the Shermans from 94 to 96, and he sold it because of all the, crazy shit that was going on, according to him. I'm assuming that in 96, this was a much more believable lie because the internet was in an infancy that wasn't in now. So things like this would have been much harder to fact check. I mean, people couldn't just go on Amazon and buy this guy's journal. So you just had to, take what was read in the newspaper, whatnot. So that's what I assume. And now that it's so easy to debunk, I just think that the story's been around for so long.
Take it off the list.
No, and also if you given up saying like this, I could say it was like, oh, the Donner Party passed through this way, and like for the most part, when you're like telling a story like this, people will take you on face value simply because, like, in the back of their head, they're like, why? What reason to gain would you have for lying about this? Well, obviously, it's to make this sound a little bit more, effective.
But because of that, there are things in this timeline that do seem to have evidence to back them up. So we got 1851. Chief Okara is given a vision by the spirit Hoaxes to lead the Mormons to the sacred mine, Kare Shinobe to build the temple in Salt Lake City. In 1880, several bands of Ute tribes were relocated by the government onto the reservation surrounding Skinwalker Ranch. That is true. The military finalized construction of Fort Duchesne. That is true. Buffalo soldiers were stationed in Fort Duchesne. One particular soldier, rumored to be Augustus Whaley, was a known Mason and may have connections to the Mason-like symbols seen etched in the rock wall at Skinwalker Ranch. This is possible. So I did look into this, and there is an unnamed soldier who they claim was a Mason, and this fort is close to Skinwalker Ranch. So it's a bit of conjecture here into, I'm not sure. I couldn't find how they came up with the name Augustus Wally or Whaley. Maybe that's just someone's lost of time. But I was able to find information on just an unnamed soldier, rumored to be part of the Masons. And you've got somebody there in the 1800s that's part of the Masons. All right, that explains why we've got messianic stuff written on the wall. So This was possible. 1906 to 1911, underground rumblings and explosions heard both day and night around the ranch. Article discusses strange occurrences. Click here for the article. And you've got the article. Oh, wait, nope, uncut error. A lot of these articles you will find don't exist anymore. Now, whether that's because they were debunked or whether it's because they didn't re-up the domain because these came about in the 90s, that's hard to tell. I mean, so anytime I can't find a source, I'm immediately skeptical. And that's not the first time this will happen, or the last time this will happen.
And say what the article was. Like if there was another source or another upload of that article, we could go and look for it. But you just say this article. You don't say this article in the so and so book or so and so newspaper. Like we could go in and
in some instances there are other versions of other articles, which is why, like, I'm with you. It's like, yes, I love that because I can source stuff. So when we get further in the timeline, we will get to some of those.
EB wants to know if he can have the info for the way back.
The thing.
Oh, good idea.
The info for the way back. What info do you need? And yes, we'll put it in the chat.
Because if he can show you the error, I don't know what info that's going to give you, though.
Wouldn't be the first time someone comes up with a revelation in the chat.
Yeah, I'll put a link to the error.
That would be so much. That would be exciting.
Oh, it happens. It happens.
Oh, it's fun. Yay, chat.
EB has been great about this in the past.
Dude, we have like one of the best chats on the internet. They're like, they will sleuth.
All right.
But also, I like what you guys were talking about. I don't like that either, where they source this one thing and it's gone. Because usually, if you're up to date on these things and you realize, like, hey, this article doesn't exist anymore, you'll try to repost an article with similar information.
Real quick, EB, unfortunately, I'll have to send it in 2 messages because it's such a long URL, but I will do it. So there it is. It's 2 messages, but here's the total error. Sorry, continue, Sammy.
Sure.
No, I'm just saying, like, if you were up to date on your website, right, and you saw that the article that you attributed this information to is now gone or defunct or, just disappeared, you would probably try to find a similar article saying a similar thing. And, in a lot of these cases, they're just gone because they're like these one-shot articles. Like, it makes it very difficult to make a educated hypothesis where it was like, well, was that article factual? Was it taken down because
right.
it was
Because
merited.
it was disproven. Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, in 1905, Monk Chavanon, his wife, members of the Uncompahare Ute tribe, is granted or allotted land in 3 lots of Section 5 of Skinwalker Homestead. This is true. Monk Chavanon sells a portion of the land to Henry Lister. This is also true. Henry moves to Homestead 2-3. Monk Chavanon completely departs the property. This is true. Christopher Locke, grandson of Benton Locke, recalls a noteworthy occurrence of a strange visitor to the property. So this part is tenuous, but possibly true. The stranger arrived out of nowhere, was wearing time period appropriate clothing. However, underneath it was a dazzling blue one-piece outfit. He asked for water and had a lengthy conversation with the family of Henry Lister, because that's who would have actually been the property owners at the time. And then walked off and disappeared. The assumption is the bizarre figure told Locke or Lister family were not to dig on the property. This story was so amazing, apparently, that it was passed down to future generations or from past owner to new. Now, before you have thoughts on this, what you sound like you were going to say something, Cindy?
EB needs the link to the website.
The timeline link. Okay, gotcha. Here is the timeline link. There you go. Now, this does seem to be a true story. It is true in that this is a story that the Lister family told and passed down over and over. Now, whether or not it was made up and they were just talking shit, or whether this really happened, that we don't know. But let's assume this is true. You know, it's 1915. And you've got 1915. Some random dude shows up, asks you for your generosity, gives you advice, then leaves. What does this sound like to you guys? We'll start with Kitty since you're the guest, then we'll go to everybody else.
No, well, it does. I don't know. It sounds like some sort of. It sounds shapeshiftery, a time traveler person. That's what I think. That's what they're trying to get us to think with that the one piece outfit underneath. Something like that.
I had a similar thought. I have a different thought as well, but my mind jumped to maybe time travel or something. What about you, Sammy?
Sounds like an angel.
Oh yeah.
Now you're speaking my language. Cindy, what about you?
I was going to say dimensions are happening. Because didn't you mention like the Mothman and stuff being in dimensions and whatnot?
Yeah, the one of the theories of the Mothman is interdimensional. Yes. Now, so here's what I thought. Let's say you're running a Dungeons and Dragons campaign. You know, I'm a DM. I've ran many a campaign, and you want to test your players. One of the really common things to do, and you see this all throughout a bunch of real life religious texts. You have a god or a godlike being or an angel or something pretend to be a normal person, most often like a peasant. And then depending on how your NPCs interact with them, you know, the peasant might ask for water or for gold, for something. And if your NPCs are good to the peasant, they get a blessing. If your NPCs are dickheads to the peasant because they think we're main characters, we're better than you. It turns out, it was a god in disguise. You guys are fucked. I've used that trick in various Dungeons and Dragons campaigns multiple times. There's biblical and multiple religious foundations for this. You know, gods come in these disguises, and that's my takeaway of what possibly happened here. Like, if we were to believe this is true, we have some sort of otherworldly being that is some sort of weary traveler makes a request of you. I would like some water or whatnot, and you are rewarded through your kindness or punished through your wickedness or lack of helping. So I would like to believe that this is true, even though there's no proof aside from this is a story that's been passed down by the Lister family.
Yeah, I agree with that as well, especially because it's a harbinger of warning, right? And it's not the only time that someone goes, "Don't dig on this land," has come up.
That doesn't that mean that could be a trope in mystery stuff, or but then again, we've just also said.
No, I'm saying on this particular plot, people have come up and said, "Please don't dig here."
On this, yeah.
Yeah, so and my only other thing, because it's like 1915, it's a dude with a big mustache and just like, "My name is Daniel Plainview. I'm an oil man. Please don't dig here. I have other reasons."
Nick, as far as your questions, if any of us have watched the History Channel show, I haven't. I love that sort of stuff, but I prefer to watch non-History Channel versions of events like these. More, like less produced, more conspiracy. Like it's something about the History Channel that makes it too cheesy and hard to buy. But that's just me.
No, it's
I think
because
I fell
the
asleep
History
to
Channel
this
used to do
too.
hardcore like documentaries about history, and then all of a
Mhm.
sudden was like, well, did
Aliens.
ancient aliens go back in the primordial stew and jerk off, and that's why we're here? And you're like, no, that's not what happened.
And they were
Kitty,
like,
you said
wow,
you fell asleep
people
during it?
enjoy that. Yeah, I think I would. It's just part of it would be on in the background when I fell asleep. So it was the History Channel investigation, discovery, crime and investigation that I would put on in the background when I fell asleep. So
And Cindy, it's not anime, so I assume you've never seen it.
No.
mhm.
Well, I did
When
say
the
I'm
anime
coming
comes
into
out,
this
you'll watch.
blind.
Yeah, when the Skinwalker anime comes out, Cindy's gonna be all over it.
She'll be all over it.
1930, Christopher Locke, the grandson, reveals the first cattle mutilation occurred on the ranch. Now, this is the first. It allegedly won't be the last. So we're going to stop the timeline for a moment, and we're going to hop to this right here, this video. So this is from Brandon Fugel. This is the current owner of Skinwalker Ranch. This is a terrifyingly true story. Skinwalker Ranch, March 10th, 1997. So nearly, this is a little more than 60 years after that first one. It's a 6.5-minute video, but it's worth it. And if at any point you guys want to pause to have a conversation or commentary or talk, let me know.
When a family's entire livelihood depends on the well-being of its livestock, the loss of even a single animal is a serious matter. For the Gormans, the stakes were even higher. Their herd of 80 cattle consisted of high-end Simmental stock, each the product of Tom Gorman's expertise at artificial insemination. The loss of 13 valuable cows in a matter of months was devastating to the family's finances, but took a psychological toll as well. Across the country, dating back to the late 60s, hundreds of other ranchers in at least 15 other states experienced the same sense of frustration and helplessness upon discovering the grim evidence left behind by the mystery surgeons. At the Gorman Ranch, as elsewhere, the grisly handiwork was primarily carried out under the cover of darkness or during violent storms. The carved carcasses were mostly found hours or days later, during daylight. Even in sunlight, the discovery of an animal sliced up so precisely was chilling and deeply disturbing. And then it got worse. On March 10th, 1997, Tom Gorman and his wife walked out of their home and into the pasture, planning to tag the ears of several calves that had been born in the preceding days. It was a bright, clear morning. Snow was on the ground. 50 yards from their house, they found the first calf.
They were with their dog. The two
I
of
want
them
to see.
tagged and weighed.
There'll be more. No worries.
They checked it at, I believe it was 84 pounds or 87 pounds. And they left the animal there with the mother. Everything seemed to be fine, although they did detect an odor in the air around this area. They detected a strong musk smell.
Yeah.
They took note of it, and then they headed west. And they went about 300 yards west beyond the dog run was not there at the time, but about 300 yards beyond, towards where that incline is, and they were tagging a second animal.
Only 30 to 40 minutes had passed.
Do people from Utah just sound like that?
View of everything in the field, but didn't see or hear anything unusual until their dog focused its attention back toward the house and the first calf.
The dog with them down here at this stage began to act really strange.
Would you still eat the cows?
The hair on the back of its
I
neck
don't
went
think
up,
I would. No.
and it started.
Yeah, like I'm very pro eating animal and whatnot, but if it's potentially been sought up and stuff by like alien technology, I'm good. I don't know what's in it. I don't know if it's sterile. Like I'm good.
Also, like the food industry, you can say what you want. Like there's some pretty distinct processes about like harvesting meat. You don't just like pick something up that you found dead in a pasture and then
Right.
It's roadkill then.
Yeah.
Although my grandfather's aunt, so I guess that'd be my great aunt, used to do that. Like she would do roadkill stew, 100%. That was normal, and that was normal in my grandfather's household. He told me a story of like he was loving the stew they were making when they were eating one time, and only after he finished did she tell him that it was roadkill skunk, and he threw it all up. So yeah, That's the life that my grandfather lived. We have it pretty easy, guys.
Hey,
Basin
real
back.
quick. Ryan was saying they have skinwalkers up in Canada as well. At least the legends.
Yes, yeah. There are legends. So
Yeah,
the
all
Ute
over the
tribe
place.
is a very northern tribe. So that doesn't surprise me at all. And if not skinwalkers, there's also a lot of different Native
Wendigo.
American tribes have variations of the shape shifting creatures. So yeah, skinwalkers or other very similar
Yeah,
creatures.
Wendigo, things like
Yeah,
that.
Wendigos.
Yeah, you've got like the Anasazi, I believe, with the tribe that believe in the Wendigo, which Wendigo is a little bit different than the Skinwalker, but there's
It's
some
a little different, but
crossover,
it's kind
yeah.
of a similar.
Not sheep shifting, according to Divina.
Towards here, growling and snarling, and then it just took off west, away from this spot. It just took off.
Wait, can you
It was
pause
never
this?
seen again.
The Gormans were curious.
If I ever get like casted to play a serial killer, I'm gonna go back to this video and figure out like how this guy talks. Like this is the mannerisms.
There you go. This is definitely a very like John Wayne Gacy-esque style character.
Oh
Yeah,
wow,
back
I would be
across the-
totally taken in by him because I'm like, it's just a normal person.
Feed.
I don't
Maybe
know,
it's
I'm
just
getting vibes.
because I'm not
was
American.
Dressed like
mother-
Danny
Just
Elfman.
probably because you're not American.
running
Yeah.
back
Yes.
and forth, kind of in a sort of half circle from about this area to the
A
fence
half
line.
circle.
Yeah,
Just
half
running back and
circle.
forth, and it
This
was
area.
limping. I mean, it was dragging
Yeah.
its foot. It was limping. They met the animal. and they
Animal.
noticed
Okay, I'm
that
getting
it.
it.
Was just totally out of breath. It was panting. It was obviously in
Panting.
deep stress,
Panting.
and it was
Yeah.
dragging one leg.
They add
And then they
extra
noticed
H's.
And here we
Yeah,
go.
no,
what was left of it.
Hold on.
Wow.
Spread eagled on the ground, just about here, with it was lying with all four limbs just spread on the ground. All of it.
All
I don't
four
know,
of
man.
them
I think
just
that's
spread on the
just
ground.
that
it
looks
was
like just
completely, pretty
animals
well, all
eating
of its,
animals.
muscle was gone.
That
from
does.
from the
Yeah.
torso.
It's
No,
so
the legs
clean
were
though.
No,
That's the thing.
Leon, pause it. Like, see, this looks like an animal attack to me. Like the other ones where it was like a very
Like that where
specific chunk.
yes.
Do
yeah.
they
That's
pick the
more alarming.
bones that clean though?
Well, it depends on how long it's out there because now you have to think about like scavengers, stuff like
Mhm.
vultures, where
Yeah.
they'll pick those bones clean. And let's not outrule insects,
Yeah.
which will finish the job easily.
That's their job. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, they do bring in. You know what? I'll wait. I'll wait till finish. I won't spoil anything.
But the one of the ears was also gone. So
Oh.
they
Oh.
called NIDS.
it
The
was a
rancher
van
placed
ghost.
Call to the NIDS investigators who returned to Las Vegas for a rare weekend off.
Oh, good.
Within a few hours, a four-man team, including a veterinarian, was on the scene.
Uh-huh.
Necropsy started, and the first thing that the
Necropsy.
veterinarian noticed during the necropsy was that the ear of the animal had been sliced off with a very sharp
Sliced.
instrument, possibly a scalpel, and the ear had contained a very large plastic.
Why does it
yellow,
look like a
tag,
human ear?
an ear tag.
Because it was sliced off.
That they had just put on, and it was gone.
And you're just seeing the inner.
So the necropsy proceeded. About 10 feet away from the animal, there was a femur. One of the femurs had been forcibly ripped out of a ball and socket joint, which is extremely difficult to do. I mean, in terms of strength.
Damn.
It looked initially, superficially like a massive predator had just lain waste to this animal, removed, 60 pounds of meat in 45 minutes, which we don't know of any predator that could have done that.
And how could a predator
Okay, so
inflict
there's a
such
time
carnage
limit they're
without
putting
being
on this,
seen or
45
heard
minutes.
by the rancher, his wife, or his dog,
Yeah,
who were a
that's
few hundred
crazy.
yards away in the same field on what was a quiet Sunday morning?
You could say they
four-legged
just
predator known
didn't
to
see it.
science could do it. The
That's
team gathered
crazy.
tissue and bone samples,
But then
which were
again,
sent to 3 independent pathology labs.
wouldn't there
The
be
results arrived later, but
birds?
confirmed what seemed obvious in the pasture that day. The calf had been carved up by someone wielding sharp metallic instruments. A heavy machete-like object had slammed into the bones. A smaller scalpel-like knife had sliced the hide and muscle.
Closer inspection revealed that it was definitely sharp instruments used. There was no sign of blood. There was
That's
no
who he
sign
sounds
of
like.
That's-
He sounds like
yeah.
It was perfectly
Sorry,
clean.
yeah.
sounds like Stellan
Not a drop of
Skarsgård in
blood
Good
on the
Will
grass.
Hunting.
We went even as far as doing an experiment by pouring blood on the grass to see how fast it would seep through. Videotaped the grass and showed, even 2 days later.
Keep it
you could
still.
see the stain on the grass. So there was
So that's a very interesting So this
Yeah.
is still a relatively fresh carcass. However, you would think there should be blood. But
Yeah.
blood residue when they tested it stayed there for 2 days. Here,
Oh my
there's no blood residue
Mm.
despite this being fresh. Like, this is interesting. And again, they brought the vet in, and if it doesn't cover what the vet says, or we've already covered over it, I'll reiterate
No,
what it says.
let's not overlook the surgical precision that this thing was dismantled.
Yeah.
This isn't and when all of us well, at least when me, Kitty, and Cindy saw it, we said, oh well, that looks like the work of predators, but we were
But no,
assuming that this was under like a certain amount of time, right? They said that this happened in with like 45 minutes.
Okay,
You
well
know,
then, yeah, that's why I was gonna say I don't think they could do that cleanly in that amount of time.
no,
And not be seen.
that
Yeah.
and also that wouldn't be enough to attract what we were talking about with vultures and you know,
Mhm.
God forbid, like larva buildup for insects to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Imagine if it was that quick. Geez.
No, yeah,
But yeah.
Bobby Blankenship
I don't
says
want to
the
live in that
predator
world.
would waste time with the calf. I don't know enough about how predators hunt to know that, but I mean that's also possible. All right,
But
we'll
also
keep
just
going.
the
There's a
lack
little
of
bit left.
blood. Is
Yeah, the lack
weird.
of blood is incredible.
No blood
Yeah.
whatsoever, not a single drop, either underneath the animal, on the animal, or
Like
on the
no
grass.
drag.
Just completely
Nothing.
Yeah,
clean.
you're not seeing teeth marks either.
Well,
He
you know what
Yeah.
they said about the bone, the ball socket joint being ripped out. You need an enormous amount of strength to do that.
Nothing. Eventually, the investigators reached an unsettling conclusion.
The bottom line is this animal must have been killed elsewhere because there was no blood. There was no blood on the scene, and then the animal must have been brought back, laid down carefully, almost.
But
you know,
even so, it would if it was
really
dragged.
almost
Okay, if I
ritually
was,
on the
yeah.
spot where it had been tagged.
Okay, ritually is just a buzzword that's exciting that you want to associate with your story, but the I would expect there to be some sort of drag mark thing
Yeah,
by predators.
it's almost like it was bagged and then dropped off, or
Mhm.
just dropped.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, yeah, the just dropped aspect. Like if it was, if you drug it back there, well, there'd be evidence of it being drugged back there. If someone put it like in a car and drove it, well, you'd have the tire the tire tracks, something to follow, or there'd be depressions in the grass from coming. That was some tall grass. There'd be depressions in the grass from where the tires were. So this is a strange one. I won't lie. I don't have an explanation for this. I mean, I really don't.
Negates if you did it on site, there would be blood everywhere. Just everywhere. Like that carcass was completely mutilated. There, you know what I mean? It wouldn't just soak into the ground. It would be all over the grass.
Mm.
As a matter of fact,
like it would have been brown. Like you can still
as a
see
matter
it
of fact,
once it's oxidized.
I argue you couldn't do that without leaving bloody footprints yourself. So, like, it had to have been dropped.
So I mean, I was gonna give you that chat in a sec, but I mean, I think we're all in agreement here that this was, at the very least, this is weird. At the very least, this is a very weird case. And this isn't, again, this was in 97. Reports of this happened as early as 1930 when the listers were owned it. So what we got, EB is a member for 7 months. I just bought a TFH Mothman shirt. My man, you'll love to see it. If you've got an Instagram or something or X, make sure to tag me in it, assuming you're cool with showing your face on the internet. I would love to show it off on my Instagram, on my X account, things like that. So, dude, awesome. Thank you very much. And then Marty Tiberius O'Donnell says, it's the illegals. Nah, it's that bitch Carol Baskin. Shout out, Marty. Thank you so much. Truly appreciated. But yeah, no, I don't know if that's true, but I will say.
No offense, but it sounds like some fucking commie gobbledygook.
All righty. Let's get back to the timeline, because there's definitely still some interesting stuff afoot here. That way Cindy's pretty face isn't covered by the chat. There you are. All righty. So by 37, July 6th, 1937, quit claim to John W. Myers and Emma C. Myers for lot 3 with 160 acres. I'm not actually sure what this means, quit claim. So maybe someone more intelligent than me can know, but I didn't get this one.
So they basically, there's a certain thing called like you stake your claim.
What's a quick
saying like
claim?
your claim is you're going to harvest this land. You're going to do stuff with
Right.
it.
So what's a quick
A
claim though?
quick
That's the question.
claim
A quick
is a
claim means
person
you quit your
relinquishes.
claim. You're no
Yeah.
longer going to stake it. You're going to uproot.
Okay.
You're relinquishing any interest
Absolutely.
they have in that property, transferring it to another person without making
Or
any
you
promises
just
about the
leave it up for
title's
grabs.
validity.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's kind of important because it says without making any promises about the title's validity. I don't know. I think that's kind of interesting.
No,
So-
as someone who deals with that, so do I. Because like you have relinquished, if you sold it to someone else, especially at this time or whatever, you might want to hold on to it just for the mineral rights. Anything that someone might do with it, like they cut all ties with it entirely and just moved on.
Well, and then in 34, which is so Kenneth and Edith Myers lease a 3-room house on the ranch, unknown which homestead, from Henry Lister. Now, Kenneth and Edith Myers, if my memory serves, they're the ones that would go on to purchase this, or to own this entire ranch until the Shermans would buy it in the 90s. So 2 miles from Skinwalker Ranch, large silver globe-like object is seen flying over Fort. They spell it wrong here, but DeChinse. This is reported. There are reports that says click here for story. I don't remember. This is another one that got.
Yeah, I'm like, that's why I'm waiting.
Yeah. This one does actually have.
Oh
no, this was faulty as well. I was able to find articles about this particular incident. The reason I didn't save it is because there's a different article that I would rather go over. But yes, so this one is true. I was able to verify this one that there were in 44. So what the story is, it was a couple having a picnic on the land. They found what it's not described as a flying saucer, because the term flying saucer was popularized in 47 with the Arnold case. They called it a silver globe that had lights on the bottom. The 44, this case of the 1944 silver globe observed by a couple having a picnic. This is real. This is verifiable in that it's verifiable. They claim they saw this. Again, not verifiable that it happened, but that they claim it happened.
Verifiable claim.
Verifiable claim. Yeah.
Well, I also wonder with things like this. Where you're having this, and all of a sudden you're having these people, kind of buy this land or make claim to this land and ditch. I'm also starting to wonder if the dude wearing a onesie going "Be not afraid" like showed up again.
The guy that showed up to the Lister's home. There's no mention of him ever showing back up, but that is a good question. So Henry Lister sells his land to Benton Locke, who moves into the western portion of the ranch house. In the 50s and 60s, Junior Hicks and locals report a surge of UFO flap and UFO reports in the Utah Basin. However, Skinwalker Ranch itself historically has little to no recorded activity. However, of note, the ridgeline directly behind Skinwalker Ranch is given the nickname Werewolf Ridge by the locals for reasons lost to history. Now, the surge of UFO reportings in the Utah Basin, this is 100% true. We will get to an article about this because this goes well into the 70s, and there's an article from the 70s that I really want to cover. So, but just note that yes, at this time there's a surge of UFO sightings specifically in this area. Benton Locke sells his western portion of Skinwalker Ranch to Edith Child Myers and Kenneth John Myers for $5,000, who proceed to homestead the entire east and western portion of the 512-acre Skinwalker Ranch property. A wave of UFO sightings occurs in the Utah Basin that lasts until 68. Bottle Hollow Resort is built. In 70, Bottle Hollow Reservoir was constructed by the U.S. Army Corps. There are some interesting stories about the Bottle Hollow Reservoir, and we'll get to those as well. Before we do, currently banana up for $5.51. There is only one thing that can pick up a calf and clean. I hate to say it. Prehistoric Colonel Sanders is likely to blame.
Finger licking.
That's a prehistoric Colonel Sanders is a wild way of saying dinosaur.
Stop it. Get some help.
No, I love that, Curly Banana. Shout out. Thank you so much for the $5, brother. So, cattle mutilations suddenly become common in the Utah Basin around the ranch. So, we've got more cattle mutilations 40 years later. Desert News article discusses mass sighting UFOs seen 10 miles from the ranch. Now, this is awesome because found the original newspaper listing for this.
Oh, wow.
So, now obviously this is the full newspaper, but the listing, not listing, but the particular article,
$38 for new tires.
Yeah, fucking amazing, right? God, what we lost. So, before we read this, we'll go ahead and shout out the Plot Strikes Back, getting in 5 new Words of Paradise gifted memberships. Homie, truly appreciate it. And for those of you that got gifted these memberships that might not be part of the Discord, I just updated the link today. So when the stream is over, maybe go to my community tab. You'll see a members only post with a link to the Discord. Be sure to join. Lifetime access just for being gifted a membership. Shout out. And then Marty Tiberius O'Donnell with a 3-banger, which is an odd number. You love to see it. Throwing up the Ein Corgi emoji. So yes, guys, this is for you. Nick, mad shout out, Marty. Thank you very much. And you know, for a 5-banger and that extra super chat, we'll give you a longer clip.
So here's the deal. Life doesn't always want to be your friend. Sometimes it'll feel like life wants to hurt you.
That was a downer.
But you can't just hide, because nobody likes a quitter.
Yo ass don't hurt.
I'll go first.
You gotta take chances.
This fire isn't gonna stop me.
I never said it was gonna be fun or easy.
Subscribe to New Black Street. Subscribe to Atreus. And yeah, I'll catch y'all next Saturday.
My ass.
Shout out to Trace. Yo ass.
Yo
I hope
ass,
your ass is
Lord.
better.
My ass.
Yep. UFO sightings keep Utah Basin buzzing. So we're gonna read through this. It's not super long. It seems like it's super long. Marty, I'll get to those in a bit. Oh no, why is it all? There we go. All right. So copyright Desert News 1978 by Andrea Granum. Desert News correspondent Roosevelt, the Utah Basin, already famous for numerous UFO sightings in the past 10 years, has been the stage for a great deal of excitement in recent weeks. Area residents say the various locations at times they have witnessed the flight of an awesome dome-shaped flying object with intense lights. Dale Wood, 13, a student at Vernal Junior High School, was the first to see the large silver object near grandmother's home about 7 miles northeast of Roosevelt about 10:30 p.m. August 11th. While walking to his grandmother's trailer home, he could hear the sound of a finely tuned purring engine, Dale said. He looked to the horizon, and he was surprised to see a silver dome-shaped object. It was surrounded by very intense green light that was jagged like the flames of a fire, he said. The object then hovered directly above him as he was able to see underneath this one's a bit hard to make out. Section. The underneath section of the craft. He could see lights there with the middle light of greatest intensity. While the craft was overheard, the engine sound was not noticeable. He said the object remained overhead for a few minutes, and Dale said he had the impression he was being watched. Dale said he was very scared, but at the same time, he wanted to see what the UFO was going to do. It began to circle, and Dale immediately ran to tell his brother David, who was nearby at his aunt's house. David called his mother, who was in his grandmother's home doing some canning, shouting that Dale had seen a flying saucer. His mother, Laram Wood of Vernal, told her son Dale was just trying to scare the younger children. Suddenly, the air conditioning units and television sets quit operating. Mrs. Wood tried to switch on the air conditioning, but to no avail. She also noticed the dogs were whining and crying, not barking, she said, but whining as though they could hear a sound beyond the human hearing range. Now, this harkens back to what I said earlier, like there would be some dog stories. Mrs. Wood went outside along with some of her children in time to see the craft circle over the area twice and then took off rapidly toward the northeast. Mrs. Wood says she was very frightened, yet so fascinated she couldn't take her eyes off the object. Dale had the impression the saucer-like craft may have landed in a field near them. He could hear a herd of horses located there running rapidly. He surveyed the area the following morning but could find no evidence of a landing. After the UFO disappeared, and then goes back up here. Mrs. Wood called the Ute Indian Tribe Police Department in Fort Duchesne. Officer David Murray was dispatched to investigate the sightings. He later said he, too, saw the object near US 40. The following day, in a conversation with Teltha, I have no idea how to pronounce this name, Tintha Rasmussen, a reporter for the Roosevelt Standard, Mrs. Wood learned that Mrs. Rasmussen, her 10-year-old grandson, David also had seen a craft near the Ballard home. While driving from Roosevelt, Mrs. Rasmussen spotted something out of the corner of her eye. She looked up through the windshield and asked David if the shining object he saw was a plane or something of that nature. David calmly replied it was a flying saucer. At that moment, Mrs. Rasmussen, fearing an accident, pulled her car to the roadside and got out to have a better look. She described the object as being dome-shaped and very shiny. It was moving at a high rate of speed, she said, and it headed north to the mountains. Mrs. Rasmussen and David said they were not afraid of the UFO. She said she had seen saucer-like objects about 20 years ago in the Neola area, so she knew a little about what to expect. The Woods and Mrs. Rasmussen contacted Junior Hicks, a science teacher at Roosevelt's West Junior High School, who was gained some fame in the field of UFO investigation. Since 1968, he had personally investigated more than 400 sightings in the Utah Basin, which, by the way, it's a lot of fucking sightings. 400 just in this basin alone.
Yeah.
Through Hicks' extensive files, a book, Utah UFO Display, was compiled by Dr. Frank Salisbury of Utah State University. Hicks investigated the sightings by the Wood family. Mrs. Rasmussen and her grandson, also present at the investigation, were reporters from a national weekly magazine. The magazines had offered rewards for proof of the existence of extraterrestrial spacecraft. Hicks, who was also
it's Rasmussen.
Maybe it's Rasmussen. I've heard it pronounced Rasmussen. I'm gonna be real. Like Rasmussen is a Slavic pronunciation. In America, it's pronounced Rasmussen. I've heard plenty of Americans with the last name Rasmussen. So just throwing that out. Anyway, yeah. Hicks was also informed by two women from Roosevelt they had seen an object while riding the horses near Cedars West Roosevelt. The most recent sighting came last Monday, about 28 miles southeast of Roosevelt. Jimmy Justice, 18, son of Mr. and Mrs. Lawrence. Yeah, Jimmy Justice. That's a hell of a name, right? Prominent local dairy operators burst into the family's home to report he had seen a large glowing object near where he was working. His parents proceeded to the area and observed, I believe it's supposed to intensely heightened.
Yeah.
Huh? Yeah.
Yeah. Intensely lighted. Yeah.
Intensely lighted. Thank you. Don't object circling the area. After a few minutes, the craft headed south over the hills. It was reported as traveling very fast. The justices had the impression the craft may have landed nearby. The following day, Eva Justice, Lawrence Justice's mother, drove to the area. However, she could find no evidence of a landing. So, what do we all make of this article here?
I also like that back in the day that the drawing from a 13-year-old kid could like make the cover of the news.
Yeah.
Also, I believe Jimmy Justice.
Yeah, that's a hell of a name, bro. Jimmy Justice. That's a Batman hero.
Would Jimmy Justice lie? No, I don't think he would. And he has his own comic book.
But speaking of lies, so this article, I wasn't believing it at first because it starts off with a story from a 13-year-old. But the more we read it, a bunch of adults saw this. That's what I was going to get at. They reported, like, I mean, we're talking. This is the
400 people, man.
Size.
400 people saw the same thing, and they saw little, I don't know, Reginald Lawful, his little diagram there, and they're like, yeah, put it in the news. Like, you know, like everybody saw that shit, and they were like, yeah, that's what we saw. That's
why
insane.
his drawing? Why couldn't Jimmy Justice draw for us?
Well, because
maybe Dale was a better artist. Just because you're older doesn't mean you're no. Like, well, Cindy, what do you think of this article? What are your thoughts?
I'll be honest. I kind of lost track of what you guys were saying after a point.
That's okay. You're running the chat. That's okay. But Kitty, what about you? Like, is there anything about this that makes you believe or disbelieve, or how'd you take it?
I had the same reaction because I was also like, okay, it's a 13-year-old and he would be interested in making something up and getting attention for it. But then his mom sees it, and then like just a whole bunch of other adults. I think
a cop saw it, a reporter saw it, another 18-year-old kid saw it.
Yeah, people that hadn't spoken to him, right? Yet.
Right, yeah, people that had not spoken to Dale, correct.
Yeah, there were several. So that as you went on, I was like, oh shit, okay. They saw something, whatever it was.
And now, mind you, there's been 400 sightings up to this point. That's why I want to focus on this article, because the timeline had mentioned over the course of 10 to 20 years, it becomes a UFO hotspot. But I thought this article was the best. It was also the most recent. So I was like, all right, this is a very, again, just like the mutilated calf, there is some what the fuckery going on here, because I mean, yeah, you could say, oh, they're lying for attention and whatnot, but I can't see any. I mean, this isn't going to help a 13-year-old boy. You're gonna get bullied for believing in aliens and whatnot. This isn't going to help the reporter or the cop. I mean, the reporter maybe, but the cop, dude, you can be told you're crazy. Turn your badge in. What does the mom have to gain? It's not like they got any tourists. These people didn't own tourist traps or anything.
Yeah.
So no, completely out of time for something like that. So like if that would have went down in the 90s, you can understand how it,
yeah.
but you have the entire Justice family claiming this. And the thing that I find the most surreal, and I know I was joking about it, is you have this 13-year-old boy doing a depiction, and then you have a newspaper going like, we talked to 400 people and none of us had a problem with this little boy's depiction of what was seen. No one said, hey, that looks stupid, don't put that in there. And they were like, no, that was what was up there. I was like, that's crazy.
So again, this is one of those things that to me, this kind of lends credence to some of the stuff going on at Skinwalker Ranch. I'll be real. So all right, we'll keep going with the timeline here. Let me bring it back up.
He's a U.S. senator named Jim. Well, at least there's one named Jim Justice.
Jimmy Justice, the senator?
If Jimmy Justice went on to be a senator, that would be awesome.
I knew when I was going to run for senator as soon as I saw that UFO. No one believed me.
Let's see. There was a couple more chats I want to hit, and then we'll get back to the timeline. So,
oops.
What year was LSD discovered? Well, I don't know about LSD.
1934.
1934. It was a dimethyltryptamine, goes back all the way to like 3,000 BC.
Yeah,
So,
some guy took a really good bike ride, and
all right, we'll leave it at that.
The rest is history.
Ryan says it's Porsche, not Porsche. It is Porsche. Agreed. It's Porsche, not Porsche. Thank you guys so much. Truly appreciated. Alrighty. NASA builds an observatory 16 miles northeast of the ranch. Link in the diagram. And we can look at the diagram. It doesn't really. I mean, so the ranch would be over here somewhere. I don't really know if there's relevance to NASA building the observatory, but yeah, they did build one, and it was northeast of the diagram. Massive chattering power lines are built around the ranch. Kenneth Myers dies. Edith Myers lives alone at the ranch. This is 87. 89, Bottle Hollow is drained to repair the outlet. Now, I didn't pull up any of these stories, so I couldn't find anything credible. But let's talk about Bottle Hollow for a moment. There are multiple stories that I cannot find proof of or evidence for, but there are multiple different stories about people seeing glowing lights both entering the water and exiting the water. Some people claim they are UFOs as an extraterrestrial. However, there's also Ute tribe Indians have stories about these same lights are evil, malevolent water spirits.
We've also got will-o'-the-wisps in Western things.
Yes, similar to will-o'-the-wisps, exactly. And their whole goal is like they entrance you. You're like, oh man, what's this going on in the water? And then these evil spirits drag you under.
Yeah, or sirens in Greek mythology.
So yeah, the thing is, while there were several reports of these glowing lights that will come in and out of this man-made lake, I couldn't find anything credible.
Is it man-made or alien-made?
No, the Bottle Hollow is definitely man-made. NASA Laser Observatory is dismantled. 92, Bottle Hollow is refilled with water because they had to drain it to repair some electrical stuff. 94, Edith the Child Myers, prior ranch owner, age 88, died March 3rd, 1994. Now, before we get to the purchase of the Shermans, which is when this legend really starts taking off, this was all built up. One of the big things used to discredit the Shermans in terms of Skinwalker Ranch is all made up is that Edith Myers never spoke of any strange going-ons. Well, Edith Myers may not have, but she died before the Shermans bought the ranch. I mean, just because she never spoke on it doesn't mean nothing was happening. Why would she? I don't really see any reason why she or her husband would have. And also, at this point, we do have a history of other individuals that have lived on this property experiencing weird shit. So I don't think that just because Edith Myers never spoke on it immediately discounts what the Shermans are saying. I mean, does anybody disagree?
No.
Yeah, you don't know if they didn't want to talk about it or anything like that. It's just, or maybe they didn't pay attention. Who knows? There's any number of explanations.
How do I master this? Google. Unfortunately, I couldn't tell you. I prefer DuckDuckGo myself. All right. So Edith's brother-in-law, Garth Gardner Myers, sells the property to the Shermans. Garth dies in 2011. So 94. Terry and Gwen Sherman and their children moved themselves and their cattle to the 480-acre ranch south of Fort Duchesne, Utah. 95, the National Institute for the Discovery of Science, aka NIDS, is formed. The organization was initially set up to research advanced serious study of various fringe science and paranormal topics, most notably ufology. 96, Desert News broke a story about the strange activity on Skinwalker Ranch. So over the course of 2 years, and closer to a year and a half, the Terry and Gwen Sherman are like, yo, there's some fuckery afoot here, including seeing these very large werewolf-like creatures with glowing yellow eyes that they shot at with a rifle multiple times.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, that bulletproof wolf, essentially.
Yes, the bullet.
Yeah.
Massive so you're familiar with the story.
Wolf.
Go, Kitty, I'll let you take it over. You're familiar. Give us the
No, yeah, that's the main. That like it's apparently this is like on like the day they arrived. This wolf basically comes and it's coming towards them, and they're like, oh, okay. Wolf, and then they're like, wait a second, this is a fucking huge wolf, and then they get to the point where they're actually shooting at it, and they shoot it several times, and it just like it gets hit, but it doesn't do anything. And then it just walks away.
No blood. It just shrugs it off and leaves.
I can elaborate. Yes. Also, both men were like over 6 feet tall, and they were saying that this thing was large, and they shot at it with rifles at a pace that they said it was about 40 yards, where they could actually hear the bullets hit. And if anybody has ever like shot guns, like 40 yards ain't shit.
It's nothing.
Yeah, no, it's a third of a football field. Like it was like you would definitely know if you shot.
You
would see it, and they said that's one of the things is not only they saw it and they heard it. That would be terrifying. I also think it was they were screwing with the dogs. The dogs were making strange noises, and then the dogs went quiet. That's when they went out to investigate. I mean, this is I would move the next day. Like that would have been the end for me.
Well,
I could not.
It's funny you say you move the next day. I was going to save this for when we were done with the Sherman aspect. We'll bring it up now. And I keep saying this because it's interesting to follow the money. So this is another extensive portion of research I did to try and, maybe debunk some of this stuff. And I was wondering if they only lived there for 2 years, guys, that's not going to pay for itself. Ranches are incredibly expensive. So I tried to do research into whether or not the Shermans were in any sort of debt, because I mean, when we did the episode on the Warrens, one of the main things you would find when it was about their cases were the people that they were investigating, like their houses. Turns out those people were always in a lot of debt, so they were about to be foreclosed on, or they were about to be evicted. And so these people would make up, these ghost stories. We can't pay our rent because, we're having trouble because of ghosts and stuff like that. There's nothing here. I looked up whether there was ever a bankruptcy filing. I looked up whether the Shermans were ever in debt. I looked up to see if we can find filings with any sort of tax filings with the county or the cities or anything. Nothing. By all accounts, they weren't in debt. They did sell the Sherman Ranch at a loss, but even with the loss, because they sold it for $200,000, they still were not in any debt. So my thought process is they were financially comfortable enough to say, yo, fuck 2 years of this place. We can't do it anymore. We're out.
Yeah,
that is interesting.
Well, also, as I understand it, part of the reason they left is because they were making, it was actually a financial loss because of how many cattle they were losing, and just the terror that they were going through. They were like, no, this isn't worth it.
That's
but
correct.
Then the guy that bought the ranch, he carried on the Sherman dad still carried on working on the ranch.
The father,
but he had another ranch. I think he like moved to another one.
Hey,
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
well.
Oh, go for it, Cindy.
Leon, EB found an article for the 1911, the 1911 sighting, I think.
Interesting.
It's
EB.
it's in the Discord.
Oh, it's in the Discord. Perfect. Well,
Yeah,
let's
it's
pull
in your
this up.
tinfoil hater section.
Excellent. EB, you're a goddamn gentleman and a scholar. Let's pull this up. There you go. Open link. And we'll share this in just a moment. We'll finish this part of the discussion. Then, we'll move to that article. But yeah, so Terry Sherman continued working as there's a ranch hand or a security on Skinwalker Ranch after they sold it. I don't remember which. Maybe we'll get to it. But yeah, the fact of the matter is, there was no major financial gain or loss from selling the ranch. Which, I mean, again, when you use the follow the money method, to me, this makes them seem clean. Like there wasn't. I don't know how else to put it. Any disagreements or thoughts on it? And again, I looked for all sorts of tax filing records and whatnot. There's nothing showing they had any sort of debt, so it wasn't financial motivation.
At least, comparatively to other stories like this, it seems they are quite clean. And yeah, that they actually, the reason that they were leaving was financial in that they were losing. But the fact is, he also I think part of the reason he wanted to stay as well is just to figure out what the hell was going on.
Yeah, what the
so
fuck
somebody
was going
else
on.
is funding it, so that makes sense. That's fine. Like, fine, I can continue my life. I think he kept some of his cattle on the ranch, which was silly because he lost quite a lot of them anyway. Even after the guys bought the ranch from him. Weird.
So let's take a look at this right here. So this is from the Eastern Utah Advocate, January 5th, 1911. Good find, EB. Good find.
Wow, EB.
Rumblings heard in Utah in the Uinta Basin. Strange noises cause new settlers much uneasiness. Theodore, Utah, December 30th. Many residents of Utah and the East who have been in the Uinta Basin since Election Day examining lands they purchased at the Provo government sale have noticed with wonder the occasional rumblings resembling explosions or distant thunder that can be heard throughout the section at intervals every calm day and night. There's been much speculation as to the nature or cause of this phenomenon, and various theories have been advanced, some more or less fanciful or imaginary. Homesteaders have heard these mulled detonations every quiet day since the former Uinta Indian Reservation was opened to settlement over 5 years ago, and have become so familiar with them that they have long since ceased to pay attention to what seems most unusual or alarming to strangers. From the fact that mysterious noises is heard just as frequently in winter as in summer, and the volume of sound remains almost constant from beginning to end of the 5 to 15 seconds it lasts, there are never any single isolated reports. The explanations of distant thunder or blasts have been abandoned. In all probability, the rumbling is simply a slipping of one layer of rocks over another at some place along the Uinta Fault, which extends over 100 miles north and south along the base of the Wasatch Mountain, the Wash Mountains, near the western boundary of the Uinta Basin. In accord with this theory is the fact that while as a general rule of rumblings heard in Theodore on the Blue Bench came apparently from northwest in the direction of Blacktail Mountain, Stockmore, and Park City. They frequently are more westernly toward Heber City or Provo, and occasionally seem to proceed from the southwest in the direction of Soldier Summit. Settlers who have gone to the sawmills in the mountains 20 or 30 miles distant from here state that the noise there is much louder and is accompanied by distinct tremors of the earth. It's no uncommon thing for a new homestead wakened in the dead of the night, a new homesteader wakened in the dead of the night by alarming uproar and shaking of
dishes and other articles.
Thank you. Okay, yeah, dishes and other articles. Appreciate you, Gurley. In the cabin at the, I assume, mountain?
There's
this big white base there.
Oh yeah, I have no idea.
To take his blankets and retreat out of doors to spend the rest of the night under the stars, which does not fear when he does not fear may tumble down upon him at any moment. Aside from such loss of sleep, no damage has ever been known as the result of the earthquakes, and it's likely that the scientific observations could be taken by the government or University of Utah. Many additions could be made to mankind's rather limited knowledge of the movements of the crust of the earth.
Okay.
So, I mean, it seems like they pretty much just went with these are earthquakes. Although, look, I'm not particularly familiar with earthquakes. I'm in the Midwest. I'm more of a tornado kind of guy. But I do have plenty of friends in California who have lived through, 2, 3 earthquakes. I mean, this seems quite excessive.
One thing I can say, there has been studies. It doesn't necessarily have to be an earthquake. Well, I mean, technically, they're earthquakes, right? But seismic activities and like ground rumblings can actually affect your mental health. It's the same thing with people who've been out at sea for too long. Like when the ground under you is not solid and do what you expect the ground to do, it can have surprising effects on your psyche. So that might be an actual really good explanation
For why people are seeing things that, like, even so, I mean, what would be causing this? I see that, I think it was Divinus said that, underground dynamite mining, and I would think if it was dynamite mining, they would know that that was the cause. Then, I mean, that's still a business that would be on paper, so they'd know that that was the reason for it. So I don't think that that's true. Multi says sinkholes possibly, but again, the way this article writes it out is as if it's happening more or less like clockwork.
I mean, talk about this constant sound, just and then stop. Not like a subsiding sound.
Think about even though it's not I want to say earthbound, but just because of the game. But yeah, even though it's not earthbound, like think about like those cities out in Alaska where you're getting those months and months of darkness. Like there's a reason that they don't sell alcohol in those towns either, is because they know that you're already living in an area that it's going to affect you. I mean, this might be, if there's seismic activity going on, whether it's high on the Richter scale or not, if you can prove that there's regular seismic activity, that might be enough to drive you crazy.
Well, right. I don't believe that this is natural seismic activity with how often it's reported, with the consistency of it, the consistency of the sound, the fact that it's always the same
for
sound.
tat on that. I'm just saying that's an explanation enough.
Oh yeah, it might be an explanation. Absolutely, is for why people are seeing or believing or whatnot. The things there's, I don't disagree with that at all. But I guess the core question is still, what the fuck are these rumblings?
Absolutely. But I'm just saying, as one. I guess I'll quote it here. I'm hating the tinfoil.
That's fair.
I'm saying that could be an explanation. It was like it doesn't take much to
dismiss it.
Well, it doesn't take much to screw with people's
psyche.
Yes, it doesn't. You know what I mean? Or whether it be sleep deprivation or something, light deprivation, sleep deprivation, or the ground is rumbling, or you're not on dry land. All of these things will actually have repercussions on how you perceive things. So whether even if it's minute, if it's so minute that they were like, well, that's barely an earthquake. Well, you don't think of it like we have earthquakes in Michigan. They're extremely rare. I think the last one happened when I was in 4th grade, but like it happened, and it was like, but it was like a low rumble, and if that's happening to that certain extent, maybe on a more regular basis, then all of a sudden, like, you think you have your feet on solid ground when the ground below you is rumbling. That's enough to screw with you. It really is. I mean, even go back to like things like A Christmas Carol, where he's talking to Marley's ghost, and he's going like, there's more about mustard than a grape to you. He's like, yeah, you might be a ghost, but like, you also could be something bad that I ate. Like, you know what I mean? It doesn't take much to influence you onto the paranormal, because the paranormal.
I agree with that, which is why we always want to remain skeptical. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I just wish we had an answer for those rumblings. But yeah, no, I do agree with you that like this very well could be an explanation for as to why people were seeing or hearing, like the lights and the lights in the reservoir and stuff like that.
I think Soul has a good question. Is there fracking in Utah?
That's a great question.
The better question would be: is there fracking in Utah in the 1910s? So let's find
Yeah,
out.
guys, remember.
Well, no, actually, that actually kind of makes more sense
No.
because they wouldn't be using fracking; they would be using dynamite, and then all of a sudden,
Modern
you have these people seeing angels going like, "Be not afraid," and then all of
modern
a sudden you get
hydraulic
down to the
fracking.
modern fracking, and it's just kind of like cow mutilation.
Modern fracking didn't happen until 1949.
No, I was gonna say it couldn't, but I'm saying it was like maybe when they had dynamite under their feet, and then they're seeing angels. That might be what we're talking about here. It was like people pick things up on the sensory. It's not an uncommon thing. It's you can make illusions and I've seen it in different studies with sound vibrations, and they put different like blankets on people where they all saw the same hallucinations because we were aggravating that type of stimuli. Maybe when the ground under you is rumbling, you might start seeing fire in the sky. I don't know what to tell you.
There is an interesting thing that they did use dynamite. What I'm finding here is they did use dynamite mining at Mexican Hat, Utah, but that's 275 to 300 miles away from the Skinwalker Ranch. So if there was dynamite mining in this area, it's not being listed or noted. What were you saying, Kitty, though?
In South Africa, we have something called the tokolosh. And we have that's one of our folklore things. And in Johannesburg or Gauteng itself, where I was living, there's lots of mines. So basically, there are always rumbles and tremors and things in that city. And I suppose we can get that far and be like, yeah, we believe in the tokolosh in South Africa, or many do, for the same reasons Sammy's talking about, because there's always tremors and things going on there,
right?
And people put their beds on on bricks because they're scared of it, because it will come after you.
Even
do an episode on it, guys.
Here's a better example. Look at these tribes who fear volcanoes, where the volcanoes, it's been thousands of years since they erupt. But volcanoes, as we know, are epicenters of seismic activity.
Right.
So the ground rumbles, you pray to the volcano, you do all these things. The volcano hasn't fucking erupted since dinosaurs walked the earth, but you get down on your knees and you do that because you also know the decimation of when they do go off, so you have that thing, and it's one of those things that go back to, oh, the gods are angry. Oh, well, you might not have seen it in your generation, but you're hearing these legends back. Well, we also have a thing called word of mouth, where it was like, hey, listen, I didn't see it. Good example would be like Halley's Comet, right? I think Halley's Comet went by when I was alive. I think it'll go by in like 2076 is the next time Halley Comet comes around. I might be completely off on the math, but I'm just saying. But if someone told you every time Halley's Comet comes around that the ground is going to open up and the dead are going to walk, you're going to be a little skeptical of when Halley's Comet is due to
You're
come
close.
back.
2061 is the next time we'll see Halley's Comet.
Okay. But that's what I'm saying. And it was like, and that,
right.
That is an induced fear from word of mouth, from your elders, from everything else. I'm sure the ties are going to be weird. I'm sure there's a bunch of shit that it's going to affect. There's reasons that people wrote it down to begin with, besides the fact that there's like a burning piece in the sky going by. That would be notable on its own. But
right,
there's lore and stuff that goes down, and it's handed down from people to people. And if you think that doesn't affect your psyche, you're completely wrong, because I've had stories that people have told me who were older than me when I was growing up that have affected me, even though, like, even now I go, that's bullshit. I think it's enough to perpetuate this. And I think this is an area when we have talked about they went all the way back to 1776, even though they can't prove a goddamn thing that anyone did anything. The legend grows, the lore grows.
Right.
People.
No, and I agree with you in that regard. Absolutely. Speaking of 76, let's get back to 96. So in 96, Desert News article broke on the story about the strange activity of Skinwalker Ranch. Weeks after the Desert News article posts, billionaire Robert Bigelow buys Skinwalker Ranch for $200,000 and promptly moves his NIDS team of scientists onto the ranch. In 2004, the National Institute of Discovery and Science is shut down. NIDS is replaced by BASS, Bigelow Aerospace Advanced Space Studies is formed. The assumption is that BASS had more clandestine mission statement than NIDS and government sponsors on the horizon. Now, this is 100% true. When you look at this article from NPR from 2017, secret Pentagon program spent millions to research UFOs. And yes, so Bigelow is actually friends. So a secret Pentagon program existed for at least 3 years and spent more than $20 million in research UFOs, according to multiple media reports published Saturday. The program reportedly examined cases including incidents of military pilots claiming to have seen flying objects that appeared to defy the laws of physics. A video posted to YouTube as well as a website, New York Times, purports to be footage from Navy FA-18 fighter jets showing disc-like objects in the sky. Look at the thing, it's rotating. Now, this obviously didn't happen to Skinwalker Ranch. Is everybody familiar with this video? I assume we all are.
I am.
Probably seen a couple of them.
Okay. Called the Advanced Aviation Threat Identification Program. It was run out of the Pentagon by former Department of Defense intelligence officer Luis Elizondo. It began in some form in 2007, according to the Washington Post and the New York Times, and officially ended in 2012. Though may still be in existence in some capacity, because as we all know from several of the other episodes, these programs never go away. They just get renamed and reclassified. So yes, I do believe this is still 100% happening. Former Democrat Senator Harry Reid obtained funding for the program beginning in 2009. Now, Harry Reid is friends with, you guessed it, Bungalow. The individual
Bungalow.
Bigelow, however you fucking say his name. Bigelow here. He and Harry Reid are friends. Bigelow, whose company receives some of the research contracts, was also a regular contributor to Reid's re-election campaigns. Campaign finance records show at least $10,000 between 1998 and 2008. Bigelow has spoken openly in recent years about his views on the extraterrestrial visitors frequently travel Earth. He also purchased the Skinwalker Ranch in Utah, the subject of intense interest among believers in UFOs. Reid and Bigelow did not respond to multiple requests for comment. So here's my thought process, and let me know if you guys agree, disagree, whatnot. Bigelow donates a lot of money to Harry Reid. Harry Reid helped set up a program sponsored by the Pentagon and the U.S. government for researching UFOs. And what? We're supposed to believe that Harry Reid didn't put some of that 20 mil towards investigating stuff going on at Skinwalker Ranch? I mean, I bet he did.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
I'm just happy that somebody puts their money where their mouth is. Like, you actually do need somebody to be doing that kind of thing to investigate. Unfortunately, the normal, scientists are not interested.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I think the main reason, I could be wrong here, but I think the main reason a lot of scientists aren't interested is because there's no money in it.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Oh, that's absolutely why. And if there's one thing that I think most of these episodes have shown us is that scientists are malleable. I mean, think about all the scientists that Big Tobacco hired to disprove the connection between cigarette smoking and cancer. Yeah,
yep.
I mean, it's if you get your math right, you can disprove gravity. I mean, that's and there's people who will hire you to do so. So it's a big question of whether you're using the science.
Well, and this is the same government that, for example, funded things like Project Stargate, which is all about remote viewing and using psychic powers and
Project Bluebeam.
We covered the psychic detectives, how the CIA has actual protocols on using psychic detectives. So we know this is stuff the government funds. So yeah, I don't think it's a stretch at all. Even though Bigelow and Reid never commented on whether the money was spent on Skinwalker Ranch, I wholeheartedly believe it was in some capacity. Obviously not the whole 20 million, but some form of it for sure. George Knapp and Colm Keller co-published the book Hunt for Skinwalker, which introduces Skinwalker Ranch to the mass public. This book sparked public interest in the ranch. Local news article broke the story. In 2005, Richard Oliver and 2 others had an extreme close encounter while camped next to Skinwalker Ranch. Now, the close encounter that they refer to is another bulletproof wolf story, although this bulletproof wolf is perched up in a tree, kind of lazily watching them. So, again,
I'm sorry?
Yeah, so like
You sure
know how,
wasn't
like,
a Skinwalker leopard? Jeez.
yeah,
Yeah, I
exactly.
know.
Yeah, to me, like when you listen to the story, it put me in mind of like the way Scar and Lion King just sort of like lazily hangs
Yeah.
on shit and whatnot. That's pretty much what this is they're outside, they're they're having a smoke, relaxing after a long day of ranching and shit like that. And they see this peering like glow of red yellow eyes up in a tree, and they see this giant wolf-like form watching them. And they get spooked and they go inside, and yeah, I mean that's the end of it. Like there's like, yep, fuck this. We're yeah. So they don't really interact with it or anything. So who's to say they can be believed? That's the story. And
Okay, I don't like what I'm seeing in the chats where they're saying how many wolves do you see climbing trees? Okay, how many wolf man hybrids?
Yeah,
Have you
that's a
seen
much
all?
better question.
You know,
An unnamed agent of the DIA contacts Bigelow, requests to see the ranch in person. Bigelow obliges, and the agent has a personalized close encounter on the ranch. He reports the experience back to his superiors, which was the initial catalyst for Senator Harry Reid's appropriating $22 million for study of Skinwalker Ranch. The Advanced Aviation Threat Identification Program and Advanced Aerospace Weapons System Application Program was a secret investigatory effort funded by the United States government to study unidentified flying objects on Skinwalker Ranch. Bottle Hollow Resort is torn down. Jay Stratton takes position at AAWSAP, the OSAP. The Advanced Aerospace Weapons System Application Program loses funding and is closed. Yeah, right. It's all transferred to the AATIP portfolio managed by Lou Elizondo. The AATIP, the Advanced Aviation Threat Identification Program, continues its study, bolstered by the research conducted by AA WASP and reported to have self-funded continuing project at Skinwalker Ranch with its own finances. 2012. February 12th, all power is knocked out at Fort Duchesne. A strange, eerie green glow ebbs in the sky above the town with sudden absence of power. Massive UFO is seen by multiple witnesses in town. Now, this is sort of true.
Sort of true. Okay.
Well, the reason I say sort of true is because the people that reported on this are actual government agents. Now, here's my thoughts, is that anytime there are government agents involved, just like with the UAPs and whatnot, I don't trust
They
them.
did it.
Yeah, exactly. They did it 100%. So,
Unless they said they did it, then we'll be like, no, you didn't.
yeah, see, now you're picking up what I'm putting down. It's like,
yeah,
they claim they didn't do it, but they do claim it happened. So my thought process: this isn't aliens, this isn't skinwalkers. No, this is some government fuckery shit.
Yeah.
So yes, this is true, but is it true? So, the BAASS loses funding for the Department of Defense. The AATIP contract expires and is not renewed due to Louis Elizondo's public explanation. The officials fear the public may learn about the program and potential misappropriation of taxpayer funds. 2013, several months after the closure of the government-sponsored AATIP program, an unusually expensive, unique-looking war monument is suddenly paid for by the government, built at Fort Duchesne. I didn't really research into this because I don't really think it's relevant to what happens at Skinwalker Ranch. 2015, Tom DeLonge, singer for Blink-182, forms the Stars Academy. This is true.
I didn't know that.
Yes, it is. Tom DeLonge.
What are you talking about?
Tom DeLonge has his own private and government-funded and sponsored UFO company, observation funding company.
Which song has
it seems to
aliens in
all
it?
be fucking bunk. I've listened to him do plenty of interviews about it. He was on Joe Rogan about it. It all seems retarded. But yes, Tom DeLonge does own a Let's Find Aliens company.
So he's just it's bunk. So what are you saying? Like he's just having fun with it? Like,
no.
He 100%
We mean
believes
it's
it.
dumb. It's stupid.
Yeah, so Tom DeLonge has been obsessed with UFOs ever since the 90s when he
aliens
swears
exist
he saw a
song,
UFO.
yeah.
And so, like the way Tom DeLonge puts it is that the reason there's never, again, I think this is bullshit, but this is I'm paraphrasing what he said. The reason the government has not come clean about UFOs is because they don't have a mechanism for doing it in a way that won't cause mass hysteria. So his company is fronted by him because they think that if somebody if a famous musician with good public relations slowly breaks the news, it will get the public more accustomed to believing in aliens.
No, we're just
So
not going to
basically, he was
believe you.
saying he couldn't live, he couldn't breathe unless you do this with him.
So yeah, that's Skinwalker Ranch is sold in April for around $500,000 to an undisclosed buyer, Brandon Fugel, who operates under the corporation Adamantium Holdings. And then from here, it's basically just more government chicanery and tomfoolery that we're pretty much up to date on. So that is the timeline of events. And I know that Cindy has to go soon, but there's a couple more things I want to do or cover. If you're good to keep going, Kid A and Sammy and Cindy, do you need to go?
Yeah, I need to cut out. I'm sorry, guys, but I had a lot of fun. Thanks for letting me.
Okay. Start plugging.
Hey guys, I'm Cinevere. You guys can find me on all platforms as Cinevere. I will be streaming later tonight. Yeah, that's about it for me, guys. You take care. Have a good one, and I'll see you all soon.
Oops.
Love you, darling.
Much love, guys.
Shout out. Thank you much, Cindy. We'll see you on the flip flop, girly.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
So we pretty much come to the end of the Skinwalker Ranch stuff, but like I said, there's a little bit more I want to cover. But when it comes to Skinwalker Ranch, what are we thinking? What are our thoughts, especially considering there is the History Channel show about it that's ongoing. It's about to go into season 6. Because I'm pretty mixed on this. Kitty, you're the guest. We'll start with you.
I'm also mixed on it. The UFO sort of stuff can just turn into also government stuff. So people also seem to think if government is researching something, therefore it means they believe in the aliens. It's more like I think government would be interested to make sure that enemies are not using technology and that sort of thing. So it's not government in believing in aliens, it's them checking. It's national security. Relax. In terms of the animals and that sort of stuff, that's the most fascinating thing to me. And like the descriptions of portals and stuff. So more of the stuff that's on the ground that I've heard of, that's really fascinating to me. But I'm like, if you've had this many years of, I suppose, independent research or something like that, we should have quite a lot of records and things from this ranch. I mean, it's and then now it has become a bit more financially incentivized to make sure that this place is spooky, because it's like, no, then it keeps the property value actually higher.
Right.
So I don't know. I don't know. There's
No,
something
you're all over the ranch on it. No, what about you, Sammy?
As soon as I found out that Tom DeLonge was all in on, I'm calling bullshit. No, I think that there's something there, but I think it's when we talked, even from the very beginning, I said, if there's an area where it's high bloodshed, there could be a reason why it's a nexus of like high psionic energy. But now we've talked about that there might be seismic activity. There's so many things going on there. It seems to be there's a bit of a Bermuda Triangle, so to say, of where you have very unexplainable things, and it'd be very easy to figure out if you just let a bunch of scientists like camp out there and figure out what's going on. I agree with Kitty. The most notable things I would say is because of the livestock. What's the word?
Mutilation.
Yes, the mutilations and a lot of when you see the pictures, the preciseness of a lot of the mutilations, the lack of blood in certain sites, everything else, you can attribute that to word of mouth, mass hysteria, different things. Tom DeLonge, I don't know if I mentioned Tom DeLonge, but Tom DeLonge was involved. I'm also saying it was like when you have a millionaire who's like talking to like a what is the governor or a senator, whoever Harry Reid was,
senator.
Senator, that's quite enough influence to like look into these things. We never got a lot of answers, and I also think if the government got some answers, what you and I have talked about for episode upon episode is they would have done a hell of a better job of burying it. This wouldn't be like what we talked about when there was like hieroglyphs in the Grand Canyon or things like that. Like this would be an area that you're not allowed to stake claims in. You're not allowed to buy more stuff, and you can buy land in this area to your own peril. It just like I said about different aspects of different parts of America where there's different seismic activity or lack of sunshine. You can buy it at your own peril. No one's telling you not to buy real estate in these areas. It just happens to be that if you do, you might believe a drawing by a 13-year-old. So I don't know necessarily if I believe in it. I do believe in there's some connection with lycanthropy. It's in all cultures. I think that's something that is, we haven't found what that is yet, but everything else, I think there's certain areas in the world where there's a nexus of activity, and our human eyes just can't really figure out what that is. But if Tom DeLonge is involved, I'm just gonna put a naysay on the whole thing.
Yeah, don't worry. He's on the case. In fact, so much so that we had a couple interesting chats here.
You got a
Say it
qual.
ain't so, I will not go.
Oh no.
Turns out it's fake. I drink your milkshake. And then EV, say it ain't so. Sammy says ho. Wait, Sammy says no. The hunt will go on. Find these aliens.
really works.
I made up that last part since there was no
Little
final lyrics.
windmill.
Another windmill. Right. So since you guys have gotten accustomed on this channel, for those of you that are still here, because we're going longer than normal, you seem to really like the true, like, scary videos, and are they real? So I figured we would round this out with this video here. 6 terrifying Skinwalker videos caught on camera.
Oh, hell yeah.
Whether we believe these or not. So this is how we'll round out the show.
Wait, when was this posted? Was this like pre-Sora?
This was posted 2 years ago. 1.1 million views 2 years ago. These are not necessarily at Skinwalker Ranch, by the way. These are just potential Skinwalker sightings in general.
They're all Tom DeLonge.
They're all Tom DeLonge. All right, let's go.
He's like, tonight.
No.
Figure the 2 kids run away from the creature, leaving another kid behind, confused of what they had just seen. He then looks for himself and sees nothing, so he makes a run for it just like his friends just did. As he is trying to catch up to his friends, he looks back to see if anything is behind him, and there it was, right by the tent, just standing there.
Nah.
No, as in you don't believe it, or no, as in fuck that?
Fuck that, I would run, but they could have made that themselves.
No, I'm saying I don't believe it. That if you could go back, that looks awfully defined.
Well, not only I'll show you exactly what I think this is. Give me one moment here. I think this is a cardboard cutout of this image right here. I think that is the rake. I think they staged this, and that is just a cardboard cutout of the rake. Now, could I be wrong? Sure. But this first one,
I mean,
which is the go for it.
Okay. Also,
it's
as
just
a guy,
scary video. That's it. It's just a scary video that made a scary video. It did nothing conclusive from that.
No, please go back in the frame where he's standing in the thing standing in the tent. It's too defined. It's got
a nice light behind it as well.
Yeah, like right. No.
Yeah.
That's some Tim Burton animation bullshit. Like, but also, like, I have a wife who likes to fall asleep to a lava lamp and a giant dog. I've seen some fucked up shit on the wall.
Yep, if it moved, it'd be a different story. Now, I will say, I didn't watch anything past this, so anything going forward is completely new to me.
Woo!
This clip shows a kid running for his life because he can just feel that something sinister is chasing him in the woods. He suddenly trips on a branch and looks back for a split second, and he saw something that will shock all of you.
Really?
No. Hurry up, come on.
All right, I didn't see anything. Let's give us a slow-mo.
You can
Come on.
hear
now.
his friend in the car screaming out his name, as his friend is running for his life, not knowing what this pale creature is and what it might do to him.
It appeared to be pale.
All right, so
Well, yeah, it's
I
the
don't.
same
we'll go
sort of
frame by
creature.
frame. Yeah. Do you guys even see a
Yeah,
I
no, I see
Watch,
it.
you'll see.
It's beyond the arrow. Yeah, there.
Oh, there.
Again, it's the same sort of.
I mean, this one's a bit more believable because we are seeing it move at least. But all right, hold on. I want to see this in action again.
If it had caught up to him.
I will say Chewie
same
just
feedback.
got spooked and like walked away from sitting beside me. He's now laying down away from, so he caught a glimpse of that and didn't like it.
Shock him, he'll get back.
There you go. Yeah. Speaking of shocking, you'll find out. Shout out to St. Hugo, our local game developer. It's done a 1-level mini game called Kaya Freedom Cry.
Oh,
Hey,
no.
well done.
Yeah.
Well done, Hugo.
Share that.
A couple
Again?
friends are out in the woods searching for his friend. It's nearly midnight as mentioned in the full video, and they start hearing things in the branches. They also mention that they feel like something is watching them and they are getting an uneasy feeling about this situation.
It's the
They
same
soon
kids.
walk down the slanted path
See, I
and
thought it was
suddenly hear
familiar too.
something frightening.
He also looks so high.
Man, out of night like that, I would feel that way.
You're being watched?
You feel like you're being watched because there's darkness and your brain fills it.
Right,
I
exactly.
thought that just all of a sudden.
I go, oh my god, mate.
Did you hear that? The dark spot in that flashlight is annoying.
Well, I'll also say there's something so unnaturally scary about, like, this looks like they're in like true darkness, like where you can't see into the face.
Dude, we just gotta keep looking.
That kid's acting. That fucker's acting.
Yeah, no,
I'm thinking the same thing.
Yeah,
Although
me
you
too.
say like the true darkness. Now there's a local haunted hotspot about 20-minute drive from where I live that I used to go with my friends all the time too. And when you are out there, it is pure darkness. I mean, so I'll give credit to that. Like it is pure darkness when you're in those woods, even on a full moon
Crazy.
night. Like that is rough. So,
Oh, no,
but yeah, no, I agree. The kids acting.
If you guys pay enough, I'm gonna take Leon into the Upper Peninsula of Michigan.
Like a minute ago?
Why would you hear?
They're looking for their friend. Why aren't they calling for him?
Sound like someone was like,
oh, you don't want to attract anything either.
Well, especially if, and like this is me being charitable. So the haunted hotspot I'm referring to is technically private land. If you get caught there, you get fucking arrested and whatnot. So, like when me and my buddies go, like it's like hey, keep it fucking quiet, keep your flashlights, like semi-covered and stuff like that because we don't want to get caught. Rumor is that the caretaker only comes once a year to make sure the place is good and whatnot. Because so it's an old abandoned slave plantation, not plantation because it's massive, like old abandoned slave house property, like a small farm, and it's like a historical landmark. So it's upkept enough for it to like not be torn down, but it's still overgrown and fucked up and stuff like that. I've got pictures of being there. It's super cool.
See, my thing is like elk and like bears. Like I don't want to. upset them.
Yeah, bears where I live. I've never seen one. I've seen mountain lions though, and the motherfuckers.
Either way,
scary.
when I'm walking around in the woods in the dark, that's what I'm afraid of. I'm not afraid of
Everything.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I was afraid of getting arrested because we were trespassing. But yeah, that makes sense too.
I mean, that makes sense too. I'm just saying, it was like, that's the number one on my mind. It was like, when you hear like a certain growl, you have to like do certain actions.
Oh, don't why are you out there without guns even? Like
No, that's
come on, America.
no, it's Michigan, baby. You can take a gun to the supermarket.
You take that gun with you. If you're gonna go out there, you make sure if there's bears and wolves.
Oh, I would not walk around in the Upper Peninsula without a gun because like
You also wouldn't walk around Detroit without a gun.
Bears should scare you, Girthy Banana.
Yeah, no kidding.
And all you girls who chose the bear, fuck off.
Based.
Whoa.
Ryan?
It's a name.
Ryan.
Oh, now they're
Ryan?
calling him.
Ryan.
Ryan.
Where are you?
Ah!
Dude.
Tonight.
Dude, we should be quiet. That thing could come after us too. Yeah, Charlie, just make sure.
They miss you.
Yeah.
It works.
Yeah, I got her back.
Bro, we know you're acting already, so we're waiting.
Right.
Yeah.
Ryan.
I
That
cannot
was the baseball
live.
bat.
I can't breathe.
Do you think he's still
I
hiding?
at least want to see how good the effects
I
are.
think he got out here.
He's also that rock guy with no chin.
Maybe he went off the trail.
I don't know.
Like, I'm just gonna smoke weed and eat
And he
brownies.
can't grow a beard to make himself more defined, because
Yeah.
growing a beard can give you a
Yeah.
great chin.
Yep.
Guys. Hurry it up. That's
Yeah,
a bird.
seriously. Like,
Yeah.
get
Find the
shit.
chupacabra already, okay? I hope it's like bonkers ridiculous though.
They're freezing, Banana. They're freezing.
Was that Ryan?
Oh,
That was Ryan.
Also, like, they have no like backpacks or anything. This is a stupid thing to do, depending on where you are.
After
But also
walking miles
valid-
and miles
Hold on.
trying to
Here's
find
the
their
creature. I
friend,
want to see
they
the
don't
creature.
give up. As they walk down the steep path, they suddenly hear their friend's voice behind the fallen tree. They get an instant gut
Do they?
feeling that voice wasn't actually the real one. So they quickly start heading back on the trail. and
Oh, we don't
getting
even
the
see
heck
anything. It
out
was
of
just
there.
the voice. That's
Yeah.
gay. Fuck this
It was just a
video.
guy like,
Fuck this
tonight.
shit. No. No, I hope it was real. I hope it was real. I hope you got caught and you got fucking torn to shreds and someone else on the phone uploaded this shit because you don't deserve life if that's what you're gonna know.
Yeah.
Fuck these kids, dude.
Yeah, no, who was the guy that we watched last week, dude? Because that guy had like real
last week's
shit.
guys were great. We might have to pull one of those up just to correct this because that was some bullshit.
Yeah, all of
we'll
these
see what I
have
do.
been
with
That
that.
was-
Oh,
We have Kitty
They're
here.
supposed to be improving.
As the couple guys feel like giving up, they stumble upon their friend. But the excitement and joy ends very, very quick.
Oh, come on. That's just you staged that easy. Just make creepy videos in the woods.
Ryan?
Good.
Is that you?
What's Ryan?
Yeah, it is.
This is the same video.
Prove it?
Prove it?
Yeah, prove it.
What do you mean? Prove it.
I don't know.
I've been face down in a ditch for 2 hours. I was trying to save your buddy, okay? I don't think there's much left I have to prove. Okay,
Well,
if you could come
I
help,
don't-
that'd be nice. Okay, I don't know where this thing is or when it's gonna.
Oh, come on. So you.
Once they see their friend, they suddenly become suspicious. Not
By the
knowing
way,
if he's
all
the
of you
real
have
friend or
joined a
not.
fraternity.
As they make a lot of noise communicating from a distance, that's when the creature comes out and attacks their friend from behind.
yeah, it's so
what a
fucking
brave.
stupid.
Chinless is so brave.
Yeah, we're skipping this
please
last
tell
one and
me
we're
it's-
gonna put out an actual potentially
Yeah.
good video.
Last but not least, we have a little security cam footage. I'll let this clip do all the talking.
It's a California Democrat.
It's really not moving like a precision predator.
Right.
Yeah, I couldn't. Yeah, that
Like, at least the dismount was
We're
quick.
gonna do this right. We're gonna do this right. What's the name of the channel we were watching last week? Hold on. I'm gonna look it up. Because I know for sure we saw such better shit. All
Yeah.
right. Just gotta remember. I just gotta remember.
As a matter of fact, Kitty, this is how it was. Like when we have episodes where we watch videos, we're usually at like a 4-1. This one's bullshit. We were at like a 4-1. Like, oh, I believe this one.
Yeah, it was really when we watched last. It was really interesting. I've just got to remember the name of the. Here we go. It was Bizarre Bub. Okay, let's go to his channel. See if there's anything new been updated.
Bizarre Bub.
Yeah, Bizarre Bub was so here we go. Videos. If not, he hasn't done anything new, so let's go to one of his older ones if that be the case.
Well, which is the one that you guys were talking about?
Well, since we watched
Do you
last
not want
week,
to
I don't want the
rewatch it?
audience to just
Okay.
re-see what they've already seen,
Yeah.
but I will send it to you.
Okay.
Here we go. We'll do this one. We'll just do this one at random. Let's see. Hold on. There we go. All right, pause. Share the screen. All right, crew. This will be the last thing we do for the night, and then we'll call it a night.
In the following video, two friends are goofing off inside an indoor playground at a time when no one else is around.
Shot me 3 times.
Wait, hold on. Go back.
Okay, where'd you go?
Already?
What?
Yeah. Go back to that woman crawling.
It's for a dumb fucking joke. We're probably going almost 2 hours. All right.
Shot me
All right.
3 times.
Inside
Most
an indoor
realistic
playground at a
Skinwalker
time when
I've
no
seen
one
all
else is
night.
Let me go back for
She got
that.
skin and she
Yeah.
around.
she's not
All right.
walking.
Shot me 3 times. Okay, where'd you go?
It's late at night, and the restaurant where the kids' play area is located isn't being occupied by children. So, with not much else to do, both friends rush over to the restaurant's playground to have some fun. However, it would be during this playful moment that something pretty creepy is caught on camera. The following is what they caught. Take a look.
Okay, this is my POV. Enjoy. This is what we have to get up to. This is really hard. I feel too big to do this.
Do you feel out of breath inside?
Yeah. Wait, where'd you go? Left or right?
I went left.
Which way do I go? I feel like I'm in Alice in Wonderland. Okay, she went that way.
Which, by the way, I don't know if you guys have ever done this. My nephew the other day got.
Yours is
stuck
brighter.
on-
Mine's all
What?
dark. Okay.
Did you hear this? Go back.
What? No, I didn't because David was talking.
Yours is brighter. Mine's all.
Yo, I did
Oh.
hear that.
Okay.
Okay, now you're putting
You
some
guys.
music.
I can't do this. I feel like I keep bonking my head too. That's crazy. There's like actually down here. This is literally for human hamsters.
Yeah,
She doesn't hear
Oh my god, someone bashed in this window. I feel like this is.
Neither friend had realized what was caught until much later, and the one recording this didn't hear anything while taking the video. The only voice heard was her friend's, who was somewhere far off in the jungle gym. The other voice was completely missed, but not by the camera's mic, as apparently a child's voice is captured.
Yours is brighter. Mine's all dark.
What do you think? You believe it?
I believe it.
I mean, you can easily it's easily fakeable, but if you want to believe it, it's believable.
Yeah,
Very
this is really
scary.
yeah, I agree. Like I need to see more. This one's very much like you throw in an editing software, you just throw some child sound underneath it. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
here's
isn't
why
clear-
I don't believe it is sound travels in those tubes like unbelievably. They don't specify if there's other children in.
They've said that there's no children because
I thought
places
she
were
went up to
closed.
get her
They-
to get the kid.
No, it was just her and
This
her friend
restaurant
playing.
was closed. Yeah, they broke in to fuck around in it because they're troublemaking teenagers.
Hmm.
That's
All
what they
right.
claim.
To what's being said or whispered, but it sounds like the babbling noise you'd hear from a young child. For this reason,
Yeah, exactly,
viewers
Jim
think
Hardy.
that this
Can't be
might have been the
faked,
ghost
it's
of a
fake.
child who hasn't left the playground. If that's the case, then who knows what else happens at night when no one else is around. While it isn't exactly certain what was caught, both friends were creeped out by this clip. But unfortunately, like most videos, this one remains a mystery.
Mm-hmm. Also,
Okay.
she talks about the crushing of the that glass or
Yeah.
whatever. Somebody did that. I think that helped. That kind of lends to the spookiness. So maybe the fact that she
agree.
says that makes me go, maybe
When
she
really it
made
was
this.
just like a fat kid who ate like 2 Snickers bar and he was like hocked up on sugar. And like but I can also say like so my nephew he's like 4 and he went on the top of one of those and he was scared to get down and I had to like climb my way through one of those. It was actually kind of creepy like doing that on its own just because like I wasn't doing it for fun reasons like hey I'm gonna go on the slide and slide down. I was going like hey the kid needs help, but also like everything was echoed and there were children in it, so I'd be like hey Henry where are you, and you'd be like like you would hear like the whispers of other children. I could see how that would freak you out, but like if that's totally empty that would totally freak me out. Also, if I was a child and I was looking for something to haunt, I would haunt a playset. Like, you know, like,
That's true. That's
Yeah,
a very good haunting place.
yeah.
Inside an airplane is an employee who's recording a video showing what he does in a typical workday. As part of a cleaning crew, his main job is to clean planes that have just landed.
They're
This
obviously
is something that he
pretty
often does at
thorough.
night, especially with planes that are big enough to hold the most trash. But one night, he decides to do something different. Rather than leaving the plane that he just cleaned, he stays behind. Usually, a cabin cleaner moves on to clean the next aircraft, but seeing that his work was done and that no passengers would board the plane for a while, he stays. Purely for the fun of it, he does this. But this experience was anything but fun, because as he hides in the back of the plane, this happens.
Come on, give us the good stuff.
No. Wait. Let's go. Let's go. No, I know I'm not dumb enough to lift those shades up because I got my flash on it here. They're gonna catch my ass if they see.
Well, he got fired.
Yeah, what are you doing?
I ain't gonna lie to y'all though, it's mad cold in here. And it's dark. I mean, I know it doesn't look that dark on the
Yeah,
camera, but it's
you're
dark.
in a plane.
With no lights on. That checks.
It's a big tube.
Ooh,
Let's
scary.
go! Let's go!
What?
What are you
Right.
excited about?
Sitting on the back of the plane. Y'all probably think I'm insane. Probably
Sitting
think I'm
on the
doing this
back
for
of the plane.
fame.
No. Stop, dude. His EP's dropping later this week.
You know what? I actually can kind of, I can kind of believe that one. I don't know. What about you?
I don't know what I'm believing.
Did you not? He was the seatbelt started moving around by itself.
Oh.
Yeah, it'll show you on the replay.
Day. Probably think I'm.
Okay, well.
I'm doing it
Did
for
we see
fame.
that? Did we see that suit? That
Caught off guard, he walks over to see if anyone's there.
No, what?
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, did we see the full seat?
Yeah, looks like we did. And Jay Martin says his fagginess makes it somehow more believable. And like,
not for me.
Just like what he's doing. Oh, like it work when you got like these mundane ass jobs. Man, people do all
Fuck
sorts
around.
of shit. Like I would find reasons to try and when I was working like telemarketing jobs to sneak into the kitchen and like it's like, oh hey, I'm on my 15-minute break and like just fuck around or find reasons not to come back. And so yeah, when you've got a black teenage American, I mean he's started freestyling. This seems very par for the course. I can believe this one.
Well, I can also say,
like, Leon at work. Honestly, yes, I've done crazy, dumb shit like this at work.
If you're unfortunate enough to be haunting a plane, and then this dude comes on here and starts freestyling, I would move shit around to get him off here as quickly as possible.
Make your presence known.
Yeah, like yes, we are here, and yeah, your freestyle is garbage. Please move on.
9/11 had more fire.
Please cease.
But to his shock, the space is completely empty.
Oh,
Somehow, the seatbelt flings out towards the aisle in a sudden motion
Almost
without
like he
there
was
being someone on the
annoying
seat. It seemingly throws itself as if unbuckled by a passenger who's eager to get off the plane. Whatever it was that just happened scared the living daylights out of him. So much so that he scurries back to his hiding spot in the back of the plane. Hours pass,
you
and
run
he
off
gets
the
off the
plane,
plane
you
after
guys.
personnel finds him inside. All in all, this experience has left him so rattled that he continues to share updates talking about this incident and mentioning how he should have stayed out of this plane. It goes without saying, but this incident has spooked him beyond belief.
Okay.
On August 27th of 2024, a store manager watches footage of something that happened earlier while sounding pretty nervous. He immediately ran to his computer to pull up the video and save it, just in case no one believes him. Something happened as he was unpacking boxes, and he knows that he caught it on camera. In fact, many things happened in this footage.
Real quick, how is the Skinwalker related? Well, the Skinwalker video sucked, and we've covered all Skinwalker Ranch. We wanted to end the night on covering something else that could be better videos than the Skinwalker ones. But yeah, the Skinwalker Ranch stuff is wrapped. We're just finishing out the night with this deck.
But it's what happens towards the end of the video that terrifies him greatly. Ever since then, he's been watching his back, hoping that it doesn't happen
We have a
again.
video of a
The
video.
following is the store manager's footage. Watch.
Single night.
Off. Blue
Just putting things away from the box. All right, now watch. I want you guys to focus on this area right here. Okay?
No.
Hold on, let me speed this up a bit. All right, watch.
Maybe turn off whatever other else is around.
Boom, you see that?
Yeah,
I'll get back here for you guys to give you a better view.
Guys, the other
Look
day,
at that.
this thing fell.
And I'm just like tripping, like, what?
Shit out of me.
Yeah, I used to work at a warehouse.
Okay,
Boxes fall all the fucking time.
Pay attention to this area right here. Watch.
Boom, hits on your head. Oh.
Is that you? Look. I'm here by myself. Nobody's here. It's just me. See that?
No. I don't see.
Come out. I'm not afraid of you.
Clearly.
Ah, yes, the Zach Baggins method. Talk shit to the
Is that you? I threw down the box earlier?
Oh, this would be a great video to put into, like, finish this with AI.
Yes.
Come on out.
Coming at him.
Show yourself, coward.
You don't scare me.
Why are you walking around the store? Like you had great
think you
vision.
did
Come on
like
out, pussy.
Yeah, call the Zach Baggins method. Call the ghost a pussy.
Trying to mess with me.
Surefire way. I'm so glad that Zach Baggins.
Pet
is-
litter.
Oh!
Oh.
Oh, shit.
What do you? I don't know what happened.
I don't get it.
His shirt, apparently. Yeah, is Jennifer Connelly coming out? That would be cool.
No.
Whoopi Goldberg.
Oh.
Like, oh my no.
Ooh, the music.
Let me see. Where am I? I'm here. Where am I going? What's it? Look, there I am, right there.
Yeah, we see you.
Look, you see that? You see that?
Yeah.
Nah.
You got hair cool, boy.
Kind of, but that's by a door where car driving by.
Nah.
Oh no, me.
Hell no.
As if the store manager wasn't already spooked, this happens. Recorded by the camera pointing at the side entrance.
One instance, I won't say it's paranormal. I don't know what it was. So I was working. This is back when I did IT, and I was the only one working. I was working the overnight shift, and I was the only one in the building. It's like close to midnight, and we usually keep all the fucking lights off at night. You know, we all love working in the dark. And the last person besides me leaves at 11, so I've got the rest of the place to myself. And about 4 cubicles over, we have a company like printer / fax machine, like one of the big stand-up ones, and it started just like fritzing out and making a bunch of noises. I ran over to it, I was like, what the fuck's going on? And it just started printing a bunch of blank papers, and it freaked the fuck out of me. But also, I'm in IT. This could just be like a bad, like, you know, shit that we got fixed. So I called my boss, like, hey, has the printer ever done this before? What's going on? I don't want to get in trouble for like being accused of breaking it. I need to print anything. And he just goes, oh, it's the ghost of old man, insert name of the company here, because I don't want to say to acknowledge where I worked. And he just wants to make sure you're doing your job. So like, motherfucker, first of all, stop trying to scare me, but also
Don't
this printer
say
might be
that
fucking
shit.
broken, and I don't want to get blamed for it because this is several $100s. But also, it was making like these weird scratching noises and shit before it just started printing all these papers. And so, yeah, I mean, it worked fine the next day. I never got in any sort of trouble. So, yeah, that was cool. But yeah, again, I can't say whether it was paranormal or not, but it was freaky as shit, just being like alone, all lights off, and then just scratching at the printer. Then a bunch of printing happens.
Into the store is this: the manager's hair lifting on its own, or better put, getting tugged by something
What are you
unseen.
managing?
It's the sudden
There's
yank
no
on his
one
hair
else
that sends him
there.
running in a panic frenzy, making him think that someone was
No.
messing with him. But upon watching the security footage of this incident, he sees that no one was behind him. If no one was there, then whose
see
forceful
nothing.
pull did he feel?
You
I
see nothing?
Yeah, on the other ones, we would see like where something would lift, like the one in the
His hair
old
lifted.
where like the bead. No, those beads like fucking lifted, bro. Like that. I'm not even going to say things like this aren't haunted. I'm just saying. I'm just calling
Bars
bullshit.
Max, that's probably, I mean, that might be state ordinance wise or whatnot. Because I mean, my state, you have people work again. I worked alone all the time at my job, at multiple different jobs actually. Whether it be when I was doing IT, whether it be when I was working, you know, certain late night shifts at like Waffle House or Kmart. Yeah, people work alone all the time in my state. So,
Dude, my scariest one always defaults back to my father. Where, you know, you've heard this story a couple of times now where I go to my dad, hey, do you believe in ghosts? No. Why did we leave our first house? Because it was haunted. I was like, make it make sense.
While some viewers believe that this might have been the ghost he was calling out, others don't know what to think. To the manager, however, he knows exactly what this was and believes it's the same entity that's been messing with the store. But of course, I'll
Why
let you
not
come up with
push
your
a
own
box
conclusions.
onto him
Was a
where
ghost
he's
caught on
there, there's a
camera?
box for you.
Or had something else happened to
I
explain
don't
this
see
incident?
hair lifting.
You don't see
He
the
did
hair
move pretty
lifting?
quickly for a hefty boy. Yeah, are you not seeing the hair lifting? Right here, man.
There.
And watch.
Yeah, it looks like he's caught
Messing
on.
with the store. But of
right.
course,
Okay,
I'll
you
let you
guys
come up
like
with your
what? You didn't see it
conclusions.
at all.
Was a ghost caught on camera? Or had something else happened to
Oh, I guess there's nothing there.
Let's say, yeah, what would it be caught on?
Yeah.
It's not like there's a large stand there.
I also don't buy it because of, you know what? It's actually just because of the whole setup. It's just like, hey, believe me.
Yeah, I'm kind of with that too. But also, if I was a ghost and I was like a traveling soul, like I would go where. Let's say I'm confused, and let's say that I still feel like I need to eat and everything. Like I would haunt a department store because like everything is there. Like I'd be like, oh, I'm never gonna run out of food here. Like I get that, but
I think the ghost was
I
just trying to scare him into working out. This is a hefty boy, and he bolts.
caught on camera? Or had something else happened to explain this incident? Let me know what you think down below.
I don't think
I don't know. I don't buy this
backwards
one.
the way that he did. That's also acting to me.
Yeah, I was gonna
what's
say
that?
I don't buy this one from his reaction. Like the other one we did the other day with like the mirror, where that woman like she was like, like there was like that shock.
Like real. So she would be a really good actress if it was acting.
It would be very hard to replicate.
We got 5 more. Let's see what we got.
Now this next video was submitted to me by Alicia B, who recorded something that's left her pretty spooked. The whole incident took place at around 11 p.m. as Alicia recorded from inside her car. She was picking up her boyfriend from work like she usually does, only this time, something catches her attention, prompting her to film this moment.
Okay.
In the distance is a motel like any other motor lodge. It's a basic motel with not much activity going on, or at least it seems like that, because as Alicia looks closely, she sees this.
Bro, focus. That's it, right?
That was interesting.
That was fucking weird.
Bro.
Okay, it's just it's creepy, but it could be like a window and they're turning a light on and off.
Having no clue as to what she was seeing, Alicia
Yeah.
If that's a one-time occurrence,
Yeah, no, this one kind of gave me some chills. The other one's having. This one kind of gave me some chills.
couldn't help but gasp. It was obvious that her eyes weren't playing tricks on her after seeing it more than once. A dark silhouette continuously appears and disappears as if flickering out of existence. This shadow, or whatever this might have been, just flashes momentarily before the video ends. Understandably, Alicia sends this footage in the hopes of getting an answer to her question. Just what exactly was caught on camera? Whether ghost or not, a definitive answer has yet to be given.
Even if it's a person, that's still fucking freaky. It's more freaky
I
if
don't
it's a
think
person
it's
than
a
anything.
I think it's more freaky because
lots
they showed it 3 times in a row, like repeating, right?
You think? Say that again, Sammy.
I think how it's edited is they showed it like 3 times.
No,
in a row.
no. This isn't an editing thing because her voice is staying consistent all the way through it. Her voice would have been chopped too. The camera's all moving consistently with her voice. What were you saying, Kay?
Yeah. I'm just saying that it's very weird and creepy, scary looking. But the first thing you should jump to is, okay, it's a light switch or something like that, and also it's very far away, so she's not gonna see it clearly.
Right.
It's very creepy. I would be freaked the fuck out, and then I would give it a rational explanation.
Yeah,
and that
you'd
can be scary
rationalize it.
itself. That you rationalize, in these spooky movies, the what's it, the people, the characters rationalize, and then there's something that is just unmistakable. Yeah, that would be me rationalizing. I would be like, nah, it's creepy, but that's fine.
No, I mean, if it's an ongoing recording.
Into this. What was that, Sammy?
Sorry, buddy. if it's an ongoing recording, yes, that the movement is inhuman as well. Like it's like this demonic Jack in the Box type. No, I'm not
Yeah.
kidding around. Like, there's not like a human that can like replicate that.
No.
That's not,
If you're going to think of that as a silhouette, absolutely not. It's
yeah.
too
If
fast.
I have to acknowledge that this is supernatural, then yeah, the movement is superhuman. Because like I've seen people in the mosh pit, they don't move that way.
That's a very interesting explanation. All right, well, let's keep going.
On the night of September 26th of 2022, a family is enjoying their evening inside their home when out of nowhere, they find themselves immersed in a very peculiar incident.
I'm always skeptic when they have like 87 crosses.
My mother has a lot of crosses in her
Latino
house.
family. No way, this is clearly a Latino family. That makes sense.
No, I'm
this
sorry.
this is normal for Latinos.
Is it?
Enjoying their evening.
Yeah, dude, Catholic Latinos for sure.
Catholics, we have crosses all over the fucking place, boys.
Yeah, Catholics just keep crosses, bro.
I'm
Inside their
Catholic.
home.
What was that, Sammy?
I said I'm Catholic.
You're a terrible Catholic then if you don't have all them crosses.
Yeah.
On the night of September 26th of 2022,
As the
a
gravestone
family is
gets
enjoying their
next-
evening inside their home when out of nowhere, they find themselves immersed in a very peculiar incident. At approximately 9 p.m., Renee Salcido and her family had stopped what they were doing after being alerted by a noise coming from the front door. They weren't expecting any visitors, so naturally, they were startled. But nevertheless, they were cautious from that moment on, and rightfully so, because apparently, the noise they heard was actually from a set of bells that were dangling on their doorknob. The fact that they went off meant that someone had grabbed the handle. Freaked out, Renee shows the exact moment they're heard on camera.
Dude, look at homie. Look at homie about to draw his gun.
He's chilled. He's on his phone. Sorry, he's watching shorts.
Yeah, I heard the bell. Did you move the bell at all of it? Huh? Did you move the bell? No. I heard the
Look
bell.
at this guy. Yeah, he's like about to draw the smoke.
It's the footage from outside that's left Renee and her family completely shook. The bells can be heard rattling against the door, but strangely, no one is seen grabbing the handle where the bells are placed. It's audible enough to know that something shook the bells, but the question is, what exactly shook them? Or better said, what had gripped the doorknob? Only after realizing why the bells went off does this video get creepier, as the family believes something had tried to get inside, and it seems that whatever it was really wanted to get in. But the bells, according to viewers, had successfully done their job. There's a reason why some people hang bells on their doorknob, and it's not because they add style, but rather help in warding off negative energy. They're known as witch bells, and Renee's family is glad to have bought them. But of course, whether or not this had anything to do with what occurred is up to you to decide. So then, had something come by to visit the family, or could something else explain what occurred?
That one's interesting.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Now, the following video was suggested by Jose H., who writes that this video was captured by a man inside a building that was next to a fire. The man recording this had already called the fire department to put out the flames. So, as he waits, he records this video. But he wasn't just filming to get the fire on camera, but rather to record something else. At first, he didn't notice it, but after taking a closer look, he sees it. This is what he saw.
Oh, dude, looks like a person in there.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, I don't like that.
That's
Oh!
The figure of a person is seen standing at the window.
Scariest thing I've ever
They
seen on
stand
this
completely
entire
still,
channel.
while seemingly facing the outside, as if watching the man recording this. Despite there being a fire in this building, the person remains unfazed, Assuming that it's a person though,
Yeah, I don't
given
like
the context of this footage, it seems likely to viewers that this was something else. Whether ghost or not, its lack of movement until the very end is unsettling enough.
Yeah, don't like that. The way it just dropped.
Yeah,
Ooh, I don't
yeah.
have an explanation for that one.
It was almost taunting. It was like giving you one of these and then like dipped out.
I wish we knew.
Yeah,
No, I wish we knew how the fire started because, dude, was the building empty? Like, yeah, no, I don't like this at all.
So then, the question is begged, just who or what was inside this building?
Yeah, no, I don't like that.
On a random Tuesday night, a young child happily plays inside their crib, even though it's well past their bedtime. As minutes pass, they continue to stay awake, before all of a sudden, standing up and looking straight ahead. It isn't clear as to what it is that they're seeing, but after
Kids
watching
do
what
weird shit
happens
over
only
like
seconds
that.
later,
Yeah.
it becomes clear that something truly strange was going on. As the mother of the child is in the kitchen, this is captured.
Orbs!
Oh, the door is opening. That's interesting.
Okay.
Yeah, but she's hiding.
Huh? Oh, she could have been making the noise.
No, she's awake now.
Hold on.
There are orbs.
What's this corner here? Yeah. See that little flash there?
Yeah.
You don't have to listen closely to hear that a voice was caught on camera. It appears that the boy had heard it too, but unlike him, one can immediately tell that something isn't right with this voice. According to the mother, it sounds anything but human. Although it's yet to be known what this was, there's no denying that the voice is unsettling, and it's even more so when listening closely to what it's saying.
Yeah, kids are creepy, man.
It isn't clear, but it kinda sounds like it's saying, "Let me in." If that's so, then the bedroom door opening on its own becomes a whole lot creepier. Like most videos,
top-down
not much info is
processing. You
given
just
on this
wanted to
one,
say that.
but with or without it, the
Yeah, I
video
would
by
have done
itself
that.
suffices. What was captured is terrifying on its own.
What was the picture in the kitchen?
In this last video, a man living in a small cottage suddenly starts recording after hearing noises coming from his attic. He's been gathering evidence of these odd sounds that are often heard at night. From noises like thumps and creaks, he's been hearing all sorts of things, all of which emanate from his attic. Initially, he thought the noises were just part of the house, given that it's old. But one night, as he checks the space like he always does, this happens.
Don't go in your attic. Unless you have a shotgun, don't go in your attic.
Rats in the ceiling.
Those
Big
are
ass
loud
rats.
noises for rats.
Yeah, those some loud ass rats.
Yeah, I wouldn't go. I wouldn't go there. I'm running, boy. Yeah, raccoons are pretty heavy.
That would be my first thought.
Yeah.
Oh, he has a nice attic.
No kidding.
Dude, why? Hello?
Nope. Like that. Oh, no, don't like that at all.
Out of nowhere,
Oh,
a
I'm gonna
piece of
wake up
furniture
my
flips
poor
on its own,
Yeah.
scaring the living daylights out of him. Understandably, the man drops everything, including his phone, and runs for it. Clearly, he was freaked out by whatever just happened. To this day, he stays at a friend's, where both he and his friend continue talking about this incident. They both agreed that something haunts the attic, if not the whole house. But thankfully, it was all caught on camera. So then, just what exactly had
What
been
happened
inside
to
the
the
attic?
table?
Let me know your thoughts on this one.
You know, I have to say,
Thanks for watching.
Mrs. Three-Peat would be up there the next morning like burning sage. And be like, fuck out of here. Get out of here.
You are not wanted.
Yeah.
Go to the other side.
Well, I
To hell
may
with
send
you.
us one more. It's a short, so we'll do this one, then we'll round out. Because he swears it's a good one. So I'm trusting you. If it's a bad one, I'll never take another request from you.
Questioning the nature of this peculiar occurrence. Take a look.
G'day.
Why is he dressed like a xenomorph?
What?
What? Wait.
What?
Oh, it was a predator.
The man appears to be tripped over by an unseen force.
It was the U-Toy.
Yo,
The impact is both unexpected and gravity-defying, leaving onlookers stunned and baffled.
Talented if he did it himself.
No kidding.
Yeah, insurance fraud. That is true.
Rumors surrounding the incident suggest that the man had fled Haiti due to mounting debt, and some speculate that he may have fallen victim to a Santeria curse as a consequence of his actions.
Or insurance fraud so you could get some money.
Yeah. And that impact looked painful, bro. That was full fucking face. All right. Well, guys, Skinwalker Ranch is wrapped up, and then we just did some extra little bonus stuff to celebrate the Halloween season because we don't normally go this long. But I thought, you know what? Fuck it, we've been having a good one. Let's do some outros. Let's figure out who's gonna raid the whole nine. Kitty, as our guest, let's start with you. What you think, girlie? What you got going on? Tell the people the whole nine. And mods, of course, please drop Kitty's link in the link in the chat.
I'm working on some videos still, but I will be looking at a debate, another Israel-Gaza debate, or Israel-Hamas debate, Hamas debate. Sorry, this afternoon or this evening for you guys. Yeah. Anyway, that's it. Thank you so much for having me here. By the way, this has been really awesome. I've enjoyed every minute of it.
Happy to do it. It was a blast having you. Sammy, what you got coming on, brother?
Well, there's a couple of things I want to rewatch to analyze tonight, but otherwise, I think we nailed it. Other than that, I have my regular schedule, and yeah, please watch. We're covering Clayface for Capecast on Saturday, and then in other news, well, who knows what news we have to cover, but that'll be it.
That's what I like to hear. Guys, that's for me. We've got the lunch hour tomorrow. It's going to be a fantastic one. What are we covering yet? I'm not entirely sure, but I've got some ideas. I've got some thoughts. So the lunch hour at 1 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. Maybe even, no, we're not going to go early because my video drops at noon. So check out today's video if you haven't. It's a clip for all of us on Countercast yesterday discussing the anime tourist problem, that famous anime tourist article that dropped. In fact, my video for tomorrow will probably be a secondary covering of that. I would like to check out Chibi Review's reaction to it and give my thoughts on his thoughts because sometimes he and I differ. So we might be double dipping in the anime tourist content. And then, in other news tomorrow, or not in other news, that's Sammy's show. Fuck, Leon's lunch hour tomorrow. Videos and streams every day. We're going to raid Serrano's to stick around. Serrano's trying to grow his channel. Serrano's talks about indie games and anime. So show up, show out some boys some love, say Vital Idol Raid. And look for your name in the comments. For those of you that donated. Oh, speaking of, I think we got one more. There we go. Actually, we did get two more I want to give attention to. Curly Banana for a 2-banger. Can you blow bubbles at it? And then Cap, they're not allowed on a plane with no power. Well, I mean, if you're not doing your job properly, who's to say? But yeah, no. That being said, guys, truly appreciate it. Let's give you a quick clip. You know what? I think this would be a good one with Girthy Banana since this is.
I know now that it could never work between us. Not because you're a rabbit, but because you're black.
Shout out Kata, shout out Cindy, shout out Girthy Banana. Guys, we're going to raid Serrano's, say Vital Idol raid in the comments. And until next time, it's all here in the Nerdosphere. And this has been Words of Paradise.